Islam. All right, we live, Moorish Ken. And Islamism. We rise upon the seven and give all praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. Honors to our Grand National Seal, Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution, and bylaws, and everything. It is that make us a Moorish American nation. So want to welcome our family again to another E.A.R.S Egyptian Adeptus Research Sultanate session. And I am your host, instructor, and we have our panelists on the manifest, the Scribes, and they will be bringing forth their assignments because we always submit our assignments to the public, for their viewing and for their own approbation, so to speak, that they can grow and unfold, and we can grow and unfold, and our people as a whole can grow and unfold. That's what this is about. So what we're going to do is first and foremost, before we do anything, I want to, we're going to open up according to law with our Constitution. And we're going to open up with our prayer and so forth and so on, our chapter for the week. We got to always keep that on the manifest. So if you will, Brother Marvin Edward Bay, could you do the honors, my brother?
Islam, yes, sir.
Okay, and then Brother Bati Bay can aid and assist along the way. If you want to deal with the chapter, Sister Carter Bay, either or.
Islam. I do the chapter 35. Islam.
All right. Gratitude, Islam. All right. Well, you got it, Brother Marvin Edwards Bay. You can give us the Constitution and the prayer.
And gratitude.
Gratitude.
Islam family, Dr. Elvis Bay out of the Texas Council rising, giving all praise to the great God Allah, giving highest honor to his prophet, our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and honor to our Act 1 and all of our officials, and honor to everything that is Moorish. Now I'll begin by opening us up according to law with our committee and Adept, Moorish American prayer. Ya Allah abnuheru meku neturu. Ya Allah abhethuru. Ya Allah matharu. Ya Allah huteperu. Ya Allah heru. Ya Allah ma'at herkuti. Ya Allah awajet dejuti. Ya Allah patem sutek. Patem heru. Ya Allah bamatuti el hezis reyab tu ali. Amen. Alias. In transliteration, O Allah, the Father of the universe. O Allah, the Father of love. O Allah, the Spirit of truth. O Allah, the Spirit of peace. O Allah, the Spirit of freedom. O Allah, the Spirit of justice. O Allah, you are my protector. O Allah, you are my guide. O Allah, you are my salvation by night and by day. O Allah, through your holy prophet. O Allah, Drew Ali. Amen. Holy Issa, Holy Issa, Holy Issa. And I'll continue with our divine constitution of Moorish America. Salvation, our God, unity. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of Moorish America are empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is the Assistant Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the citizens of Moorish America. The bylaws. Act 2. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Fridays are a holy day of rest because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Act 4. All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. No organization of Moorish America is to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all citizens must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know they are a part and a parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All citizens must proclaim, pardon self. Act 7. All citizens must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of Moorish America. Moorish America must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of Moorish America, and then you are entitled to the name of faithful husband. You must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, peace and blessings be upon him, founding father and framer of the divine constitution and bylaws of Moorish America. And I'll hand it over to our goddess, Dr. Dendra Anil Kurtabay. Islam?
Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Dr. Dendra Nia Kurtabay, but first let me rise and give praises to our great God Allah, give honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to Act 1. I give honors to all my government officials. I give honors to Dr. Marvin Evers Bay for opening us up in prayer and doing our constitution and our bylaws. I give honors to my national assistant grand sheik for this wonderful class. And I will be reading from our Holy Quran, chapter 35. Yehoshua addresses the 7 sages, goes to Galilee. It says, the 7 days of silence passed, and Yehoshua, sitting with the sages, said, the history of life is well condensed in these immortal postulates. These are the 7 hills on which the holy city shall be built. These are the 7 sure foundation stones on which the temple shall stand. In taking up the work assigned for me to do, I am full conscious of the perils of the way. The cup will be a bitter one to drink, and human nature well might shrink. But I have lost my will in that of holy breath, and so I go my way to speak and act as I am moved to speak and act by the holy breath. The words I speak are not my own. They are the words of him whose will I do. Man is not far enough advanced in sacred thought to comprehend within the temple of Allah. So the work that Allah gave me to do is to teach men to build the temple of love within. I am sent to be a pattern of the temple that man must build within. My task as builder lies within my native land, and there upon the temple of mighty Allah made known the Allah in man. And from the lower estate of men, I will select 7 men who will represent the temple of love, Allah in man. The house of Judah, my own kin and flesh, will comprehend but little of my mission to the world. And they will spurn me, scorn my work, accuse me falsely, bind me, take me to the judgment seat of carnal men who will convict and slay me. But man can never slay the truth. Though banished, it will come again in great power, for truth will subjugate the world. The temple will live, though carnal men will prostitute its sacred laws, symbolic rites, and forms for selfish ends, and make it but outward show. The few will find through it the kingdom of the soul. And when the better age shall come, the temple will stand upon the 7 apostles and will be built according to the pattern given. The time has come. I go my way unto the world, and by the power of living faith, and by the strength that you give me. And in the name of our God Allah, the kingdom of souls shall be established in 7 hills. And all the sages said, Amen. And Yehoshua went his way. Islam, Islam, Islam. I would now turn it back over to our host, our national Sister Grand Sheik. Islam.
Okay, Islam. Can you hear me, Morris Ken?
Islam, I can hear you now.
Okay, and if you see a little delay right there, it's because I'm letting this thing, it's moving sluggishly.
Okay.
Just give it a few seconds or whatever the case may be, and we'll get to our family. But we want to rise upon the 7 and give all praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution, and bylaws, and again, honors to all of our Moorish kin, that's on the manifest, and being who they are. We can never give enough honors for having all of those things that have been brought to us. But like we stated earlier, we want to welcome our Moorish kin, those who are Moorish and those who may not be Moorish. But nevertheless, at least you're Moorish and you may not know it. I want to welcome you to another Egyptian Adeptus Research Sultanate. And we have a grand drawing to be brought forth as our Moorish kin will be bringing forth their research. This is what we do. We let you know that we don't just get measures and drawings and just run with it here. We do studying. And then many are called, a few are chosen to do this special work. And those you see on this panel right here are the chosen few. Not chosen by me, chosen by the great God Allah, because they demonstrated what we call staying power, so to speak. And that's the real saving power. So without further ado or delay, we're gonna call our Moorish kin in here. We had some technical difficulties earlier and a little bit of delay. We ain't gonna hold our people long, but we definitely gonna be strong, Moorishly strong. So being the strength of Allah made manifest, let us begin to call forth our scribes, the high priest and high priestess, on the panel with their assignment that they will be bringing forth for our people. Islam. So who first?
Islam.
Let the goddess go.
All right. Oh
Islam.
man, I like this. Y'all biting at the bit to bring this to be real good here.
Because I want to go. I want to go first and get it out of the way.
Islam. Well, come on up in here, man. I ain't scared.
Islam. Yeah, I ain't scared. I ain't scared.
Islam.
Islam family. We're having fun. Like I say, I'm having fun. But our assignment was, you say, choose heredic words, the 3 tools attach in. We used during our recent E.A.R.S session to translate ayahs of Circle 7 of your choice. And let me the reason I like to go first is because I'm still learning. Share screen. I'm gonna share my screen, family. Let me see. Share entire screen. Let's see. Let's see. There you go. Sometimes I forget how to do that. Okay, I think it is my screen sharing, family.
Okay.
Say stop sharing. So let me, guess I need to put this up here.
Okay. Give me 1 second, Sister Curtis Bay.
Okay.
I'm trying to click it right now. You know it's got that little delay in it, but you know you'll be able to work it once you get it up there.
Okay.
It should be popping up in a second here. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Can y'all see that, family?
Islam.
Islam, gratitude. And I'm not, this is going to be the main thing I did. What I did, family, Dr. Shahid, I went back and I listened to that playback, and I watched how you went in and I remember you talked about how you did the W, the W, and you looked up the Unicode 27. And I basically did the same thing. I went over to the D, and I wanted to make sure.
Sister Curtis Bay, pardon self. Can you expand your window?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about? Like blow the actual
Yeah.
page up. Do y'all see it big, family? It may be my little thing sluggish over here. Is it?
No. Okay, now it is.
Now it is.
Okay. It's blowed up now.
Okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
still haven't got it on my side yet, so it must be still coming through over here. There it go. Yep. Okay, Islam. There you go, Sister Curtis Bay.
Okay. Gratitude. And what I did is I looked at the D. I actually did the D, the K, the NK and I went back over here and I did the SM. But because it takes me so long, I'm just gonna talk about the D. I wanted to vet the D to make sure that was a D. And Dr. Shahid, you were saying, like if we use the vowels, if I put a vowel with the D, that could be da, and that's one of the sounds, or they can be do. If I wanted to, just put a vowel with that D. But I wanted to vet that D, and I wanted to vet that the SM. And I'm gonna start with the B. And the first thing I went to was you got the D, and the Unicode is D46. And so what I did was I'm gonna have to shrink that back down, family, so I can pull this up. I went to my Unicode, and this would kind of take me a little long, but let me try to put them side by side. And as you can see, hopefully y'all can see that the similarities that I picked out with the D. We can see, I say, and then I got you got the Unicode, the D46, and then you got the alphabet D. And then when you go over here, if y'all can see my cursor, I said that these were similar to the to this over here. Um, I hope y'all can see that. But anyway, it's similar. It's similar to the D right there, and
I think it's small.
yeah, it is. It is small. You kind of wait a minute.
This,
Uh, Now can you
Yeah,
see it?
yeah, look a little better. What it is, it's the split screen effect that's taken away from what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
So if you can just put one screen up there
One
instead
at
of
a time.
splitting it, yeah,
Okay.
go back and forth between them. It'll probably be better, Sister Curtis Bay, for the audience.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay. But
they can't really, yeah,
yeah, I was trying to and I was trying to show the
yeah,
similarities. You got the D46, and then you got the D, and you can see how this is the D right here, and you can see the similarities in this one. Let me close that one out and make this one big. You see right here, family, you can see the similarities. Um,
yeah,
as I go on over. And then when you come down, you got the D46 here, and but this here got an S on it. It's got an S, but you still can see the little similarities right in there. That D, and over here in this one, you can see that similarity if you remember. And I think this is the S down there. And then when you come on down, this is, to me, I thought that's the D, but I'm only focusing on the D. And you can see that similarity there, but that's the D. That's a D and a T on there. And also the section that I'm dealing with, these are compound, and so that's why you seeing it got another alphabet on there. And if you can remember, family, remember this yellow symbol here, because I'm going to come back to that. But anyway, that's the first thing I did. I looked up the Unicode, and then I went to the close that one out. Then I went to the ancient Egyptian dictionary. Um, I wanted to keep that up there as my like I said, and the challenge I have is trying to keep these keep them in order. Okay. No, that's the SE. And I don't know how to have them in wait a minute. Looking for the D46. There we go. And when I did the D46, remember I told you to remember that little symbol right there? Let me make it bigger. Okay. Can y'all see that? Is that good?
now you're gonna have to blow it up, sister.
Okay.
Let me give you some insight here on the screen sharing.
Uh-huh.
Like, instead of splitting your screen,
Uh-huh.
when you share your screen, if you share just the screen as it is,
Uh-huh.
you got tabs up there. All you have to do is click on the tab, and it'll keep everything the same size. That way you won't have to fight between, two screens, and
Okay.
then one going smaller. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I was just trying to.
You
Yeah.
just click full screen, share full screen.
Oh, okay.
Because what it is, when you try to put it together like that, sis, In high side, they can't really see all of that. They got to see it in the full screen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They
I
can't
got
see it when you're separating it. So you just put it on share full screen, share everything, and then you just click on the tabs.
Oh, okay.
You can explain it then and go to the other tab. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Just
say,
keep
okay,
going back and forth
yeah,
between the
yeah,
tabs.
yeah. That'll be better than trying to put them together. Cause what it do every time you do it, the other thing, it make everything small.
Right.
So
Okay.
you can't see what you're doing when it goes small. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Is that better for y'all?
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better than what we had.
Okay. All right. And we still dealing with the D in the D46. And we see that means priest. It means on his monthly duty. It's also a noun and it's the title. And then like I said here, if you remember in my other slide, I told you to remember that little hand. And then the way I tied this back to, because you said basically like tied to the circle 7, our circle 7, Ayas in the circle 7. I looked at this, the star, and to me that's like a little crescent moon. I know sometimes they say that's like a mouth or something, but I thought when I saw the star, I thought about the man, the 5-pointed the man standing Allah leg head that spells Allah, and also I thought about and it changed to when it's the D, it changed to IMY. And then I say I was gonna get you, Brother Shahid. I need some help on that, because if I put a vowel in there, what would that be? Right here it's got the A, B, and D, but it's still the Unicode for D46. But anyway, I didn't know how to pronounce that as Emmy or. I didn't know. I need some help on pronouncing it, but that's all. And that's what I did with that one, family. And then let me close that one out, and I went to the keep in mind I'm talking about the D in the D46. I went to the Vegas dictionary. Wait a minute. And he said, dealing with the D46, let me make that a full. He said, make that full so y'all can see. And you remember the little symbol in the corner I told y'all to keep in mind. We still dealing with this. This is coming from the Vegas dictionary, and we still dealing with that little. I know we don't go by this, but the pictorial, but that's the pictorial, but it's still the D, and you got the Unicode, the D46, and then it give me the capital D and the small D's for the transliteration. And I went to the D46. Let me see what this is. Oh, that's the same one I showed y'all that one. And that's what I did on that particular one, family. With the Vegas dictionary, I tried to look up. I plugged in the D46 in that SLG, that PDF with that one, Dr. Shahid, and it said it told me it was on page 11, but because I'm not that familiar with that one, either I didn't know what I was looking at, or I didn't recognize. I didn't see anything that was close to the D46 or that looked like a D. So that's why I didn't try to. I didn't put anything up there because I didn't see anything. I need some more help on working with that one. But anyway, let me blow this up. And then the SN right here. You see, this is the alphabet for SN. And if I was to put vowel sounds in there. That could be the S-U-N, that can be the S-O-N, that can be the S-I-N, sin. You can get those words out of there. And I got a lot of, as Dr. Shaheed did in our class the last time, we always go to the Unicode. So the Unicode, I looked up the Unicode for that, and that is T22. And so let me go back to, so the T22, I hope this is the Unicode for that one. And we're talking about the SN. This is one of the Unicodes that I looked up, family. I was looking for the SN. And the only thing, this is one Unicode. I'm gonna show you this one since it come up. I was looking for the SN, and I see the SN, but it had the B on there, and I didn't see the T22, but it's got the SN, and but it's got a B on it, and then it's got the N right here. Wait a minute. There we go. Yeah, I forget. So you see the SN right there. And but like I said, it didn't have my T22 that I was looking for, but it's still the SN. And we can see the little hook that represents the S. And you come on down on this one down here. There again, you got the N, you got the SN and the B. And what I got out of that, I thought that kind of looked like, and Dr. Shaheed, you can help me, look like Jocelyn. I picked up this, I was thinking about the Seneb in that one for the SN, but I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's what it reminded me of, because you got the W and the D is interchangeable with the H, and but that's just what I thought about. And the next Unicode for the SN, I went to
Okay, Islam, sister, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just is it a particular ayat that you tie in this to in the Quran? Because I'm trying to figure out exactly where you're going with it.
Where the SN, I didn't really have where the ayat for the sun, the SUN, the S. If I put the vowel in there and the SN, I didn't have the particular ayat in the I didn't have the particular ayat in there from the Holy Quran, but I was thinking the sun SUN. I was thinking the SON, and then the sin SIN. I was thinking one of those words was in there somewhere. I just didn't have time to look that one up.
Right. And now you have to, what it is, you have to be careful though when you take the words. You say SN or SU, because you got to remember these are what you can call comedic transliterations.
Right.
And you don't want to really mix them with the English.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because, really those words wouldn't exist in the actual dictionary. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, I got you.
I mean, you can find a word for sun in there, but it wouldn't be like SUN or SIN, or, if you're dealing with sin, you know what I mean? Sin would be called by something else, and you can actually find it if you were to type it in,
right,
if the word exists in there. You know what I mean? If it's actually used in there. Just for example, in your browser right there, you got a search bar, right?
In here?
Yeah. The search bar, that's what I went through in Microsoft, where you can search the words.
If I do, I'm still learning what it is. It didn't show it to me because this is just a snapshot right here.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I thought
Yeah.
that was the document. But if you look there, see the SN right there, it has a definition already there. You see what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
that would be the actual definition. And so that's husband.
Yeah.
So actually you can use that in chapter 1 where it speaks of the husbandman.
Yeah. And I thought
Yeah.
about and I
Oh,
thought,
oh, go ahead, sister.
oh, I'm so, I apologize. Yeah, and I thought about the husband, and that's why I snapshot this one with the SN because it's got a lot of. I see my Unicode, the T22, and it's got
Right.
a lot of SNs, and I got 2 snapshots of this. But when you go back up here, it talks about brother, and then like you say, when I saw the husbandman, I thought about um, our Constitution, Act 7, when it talks about husband, how it tells the husband to take care of your family and your children and stuff. So that, and then the wife, the SN down here, how it tells the wife, obey your husband, and you see the T22. So that's why I took a snapshot of this one because I saw a lot of the SN, even though it did have other alphabets to it. I see my Unicode, my T22.
Right.
And
Islam and part itself, another drawing in there too is if you look at, this is something to be noted here since we there.
uh-huh,
Notice that the SN is dealing with either brother or husband.
uh-huh,
This is the what some people would call the masculine expression.
mm-hmm,
But then when you go into the feminine expression, this is just dealing with the language. You see the T at the end.
mm-hmm,
So if you see SENT, it's talking about the sister or the wife.
right,
Or you can even add the word mother in there, just like they did, with husband or wife. You can put it all in there. But now when you get into the plurality,
uh-huh,
notice it has WT.
yeah, and that
You
flag,
see, and
yeah,
then it even emphasizes it as NW as for two.
mm-hmm,
See, so
mm-hmm,
when you see the SN is the main aspect.
right,
But then when you see the T, it becomes the wife or the sister. But
uh-huh,
then when you see the W in the T or the W at the NW brings it into two. And
mm-hmm,
that's not only with this, that's just like when you say neteru,
uh-huh,
right?
yeah,
As opposed to neter. You see? And
uh-huh,
then if you were using the feminine expression for neter, you add a T to it, netert.
right, right,
You see what I'm saying?
uh-huh,
So
okay,
most of the time when the N in a T, that's considered more like a feminine expression. It denotes that it's dealing with a goddess, the god woman, so to speak. Whereas if you see it end as it is, in the relation to dealing with particular words, then that's dealing with the masculine aspect of it. And then when you see the U or the W added on the end, neteru, that means plural.
mm-hmm,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that rule applies all the way across the board with any of words when it's referring to, nouns, like people, places, and things.
okay,
You
okay,
see what I'm saying? And
uh-huh,
really, you ain't really focusing at all on the pictorial.
right,
That's just there for us to be able to identify what we can see in the Unicode and say, okay, we see what's being said. But that's a whole nother measure. The metaphysics of that is, the codes behind it. That's a whole nother measure. So mainly you want to focus on your words.
uh-huh,
You see what I'm saying? And
yeah,
then say you would take a word like you say husband or wife if we was dealing with the divine constitution. Okay, well we know the word for husband would be sin, but the word for wife would be sent,
okay,
a sinet, so to speak. You see?
uh-huh, mm-hmm,
And so that's what we basically looking for. So you would take those words and compile a sentence based upon the definitions that you have in here. Islam.
oh, okay, okay,
So
and
Islam.
then the did you say the one there what it say, the flag staff, that made me think about our flag,
Yep.
And
so that's right.
yeah.
So you would take that drawing right there and notice it says it has flagstaff, but it express it in the feminine form, then it express it in a plural. There it go right there.
Yes, plural.
It said it right there, And
Yeah.
I said that plural without looking at it there.
Right.
Said
Right.
that
Oh, okay.
rule that apply to it,
Yeah. And
And
then
see right here how they did the other expression of the dual, Sinuti, and that go back up here. Look at here. See two? There you
yeah,
go.
got the two. Yeah.
So you can see the
Okay.
two is there in this expression of it. And then it's still feminine because you can see that T there, but you see the Y coming off of there too. That's another thing. That TI at the end, that's a whole nother drawing. And it's like that in all language.
Oh, okay.
Like you notice a word like it's a Muslim, for example, in Arabic, right?
Mm.
But then when you refer to a female Muslim, they say Muslima.
Yes.
See, most names end with that ima or that at the end when it comes to dealing with Hafsa, Fatima, Aisha. You see what I'm saying? Khadija. You see what I'm saying? Them names give that feminine vibe. You look at the men, it's like Muhammad, Ali, Hamza, to a certain degree. It has a deeper. You can hear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
And
but I
then
just wanted to give that insight. Go ahead, Goddess.
Islam gratitude out there. That's why I pulled it up, because I wanted some help with it, because I saw the correlation, the T22 and then the SN, but it had different words on there, and I am dealing with the compound part of it. Maybe I should have just stuck with the single.
Well, what you want to do is when and this helps all the exercises that we given is really to not only give you the ability to learn how to deal with transliteration, but it also gives one the opportunity to embed these things in the consciousness. And the best way to do that is by a hands-on process.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
let's just say I take, the breakdown where it says the higher self is spirit clothed with soul made in the form of Allah. So what I would do is I would go up into this particular document, look for a word for the higher self. If I can't see higher self in there, then okay, well, what is the higher self to us? Well, it deal with spirit. So I would take the word for spirit, isolate that to the side or whatever the case may be, right? Then I would say, okay, the higher self, also there's a word for the, so you can't forget that. The higher self, and then is, spirit, same thing, clothed with soul made in the form of Allah. So I would find the word for clothing, with, the word for with, and the word for soul in this particular format here, just by really going back to the dictionary, and you go through the search engine and you type it in. So when you hit that search engine, like I was doing earlier before we came on here,
right,
it's going to take you to the words that relate to that. And then you can look at the context, whether it's a noun, it's a verb, look at the grammar and everything, and then say, okay, this is the word that best fit what's being expressed here. And so you construct the whole sentence with these particular words that you have, the words that you were just showing, basically.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's the gist of the message.
Islam, gratitude, God, man, for that help. And this last one, family, that me still dealing with that, because like I said, I had two screenshots of that, and then you see the T22, and then you got nothing but the SN right here. And when it says that means smell perfume and breathe air and kiss. When it say to smell perfume, I thought about chapter 1 when we was vibrating so low, and then we fell in love with the smell and the perfume.
See, there you go, right there.
Yeah, so
I'm talking about right there. So that word would be sin.
Yeah, so I associated that with with that's how I tied that back to chapter 22.
Yeah.
I mean chapter 1 in our Holy Quran. That's how I tied that to our Holy Quran, in other words. And then and as you can see, family, I hope y'all can see that. You see the Unicode 22. We got the SN, but sometimes it didn't have the 22. Like right here's got angler. I see the T22. I didn't know how to tie that in. And then as you come on down, they got offerings. You got the SN. It's the SN, like Dr. Shahid said. You got the W on there, and then you got the SN down here, which means jaw. So that's what I come up with, and I think that's all I want to share, because I know. It was another one. The SN, it means. Let me see if I can find that one for your family. Then I'm gonna close my beat, because I hope I hadn't confused y'all in dealing with this. It was one. Let me see if this is. And like I say, I'm learning how to put these in order. Let me make it bigger. Okay, there we go. You got the T. Can y'all see that, family?
Yeah, but you got to expand it up, blow it up a little bit. There you go. That's another thing right there you're showing that.
Okay. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, can you? Yeah. Well, it ain't doing like I. Let me see if I could put it.
Another thing too. Remember too, the Unicode is just really the letter.
Okay.
And so you're gonna find them letters, in many areas, but just because you see a T22 don't necessarily mean that's dealing with the definition of a word. It's just a word that's composed of that particular letter, because that's what the Unicode is. It's basically letter, but the Unicode, is isolated in Unicode.
Right.
Just like,
right.
like average number, when you put a number beside an alphabet.
Uh-huh.
You say C, D, E, F, G, and the A represent 1, the B 2. And Unicode is similar, but it's not in that particular sense. The Unicode is dealing with the alphabets that have been assigned, according to the hieratic, so to speak, or what they like to try to put up there as so-called cursive hieroglyphs. But really, we're dealing with the transliteration.
Right. Okay. And yeah, and then that's why I and I
T22 everywhere. T22, it just represents a letter.
Okay. So it just representing that one of those letters in there.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I know I saw it change. It went to the M, and I think that's the ABA. It means lance and spear, and it's used as a noun.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why if you look up a word, you put of, like I put of, it had of in there, but of was being used, with many different sentence structures. It wasn't the same sentence structure. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And it's the same way when you highlight the T22, it's gonna come up.
That's
just represent one alphabet in the word.
In the word, yeah.
The
Okay.
word itself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was just looking for, like one of the alphabets in that, because I was dealing with the SN. Islam. I hope I said that right. But anyway.
No, all is well.
Anyway, so that's what I did, family. And like I said, I was needing some help. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because we got other members ready to biting at the bit. I just like to go first because I'm a little I'm learning how to maneuver on this thing. And gratitude, Dr. Shahid, for sharing that point of view, for sharing that with me. To just make it, when I'm sharing my screen, make it go full screen, and that y'all can see it better.
Islamism.
Islam. So that's all I have, family, and gratitude for the help, and y'all, all y'all's patience. I really appreciate y'all, y'all's patience with me. Islam. So I'm done. That's what I had. I worked hard, y'all.
Islam. Gratitude. Praise be to Allah. Islam. Oh yeah. All right. I think our brother Bati Bey was trying to get in there. And give a measure too.
Islam.
Islam, grand man.
Islam. Okay, let me present. Share screen. All screens.
Just give me a little second here to get it, because I was looking at the full screen of what y'all had. And so as soon as you put it up there, I'll be able to let it in. Islam.
Bingo.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I just clicked it, so it should pop up in a second. Let's see. There we go. You got it, man.
Let me I don't know if I should minimize this. If I minimize this window, it's going to kick me out. Let me just go. No, I'll blow this.
You don't have to minimize. You can X one of them out.
Okay.
Yeah, you just exit out. See the one over there?
Yeah.
Because you got the page over there like you're looking at it. There you
go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can see it now?
Oh, yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So, first I'd like to rise and give all manner of praise to Allah, honest to the Prophet, honest to our theocratic government, our royal council, our flag, seal, emblem, our divine constitution, our swift angels, mufti, our citizens alike, honest to all the Moors that are in attendance, watching online, and all the scribes and on this grand journey, man. And so I went to the Quran and did the chapter that I that was there. One of them I didn't get all this stuff on. One of these I didn't get all this stuff on. I think it was this one, ayat 27. But let me start with this one. I went to chapter 60, ayat 21. It says, "Whatsoever may do good may also do harm. Beware that thou direct its course to virtue." And in that, underneath here, where you see right here, I'm gonna highlight this. This is the transliteration, and I did not put the words with it. That's because I got it written down right here. Okay. So and I probably should have put the words with it like I got on the other one. But you just bear with me on this one. Kufa, which would be it says at all whatsoever, and these are the Unicodes to go research that. I also have Wadat I wouldn't even know how to begin to pronounce that one. Min, and that takes this one. This one right here takes, what is it called?
That's Minkut or Minket.
Minket, yeah. This takes sound shifting because
the X is a K.
K, sound. Yeah, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I would just take that out and put the K right there, so it makes it more transparent. Minket Wada Ibke Ig Nunkan or Neckin. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the first. That's the translation from for this first part to the period where it says, "Whatsoever may do good may also do harm." After that, it goes toi, avti.
No, it wouldn't be twi. It would be ertu.
Ertu. Okay.
Yeah.
R2
Mhm.
Afti Tune or 10.
Yeah, 10 is cool. You know, because mostly we using the E, because that's a general rule.
Okay.
You can use the E. 10.
R2 Afti Tin Maya. Good. Phi. And this one had the D with the line underneath it. So I put the J
Yeah,
right there because
that's correct. So it's Jaduch.
Jadut.
It's actually Jaj. It's Jaja, Jajawut, Jajawet,
Jajawut.
or
Jajawut. Okay.
Jajawet. You know, Jajawut.
Jajawut. Okay. Jajawet.
Yes, sir.
And this will be
Hin,
Hin. Hun.
hin.
Hin.
Yes, sir.
And Bayat. But it also said BIT, but then I put the BIAT because when you look at the definition that it was given out, it was pertaining more to the characteristics, the nature of a thing or a being, as opposed to it being just in the other. When you look at the Unicodes, it would say like wealth or something like that, being virtuous. And so
Right.
here's all the breakdowns of the that one. This
Yeah, there
next
ain't nothing wrong with pardon self, my brother. Yeah, I ain't cutting your wisdom, but I was finna say ain't nothing wrong with too when you write them out instead of just writing them out in the transliterated. We can say skeleton form. You can actually throw them vowels in there to help your pronunciation of them, so you can actually make them a comment or a statement where you can actually speak them.
speak them. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's just something you can do at another time. But you know, we can once we get advanced, we'll be able to look at it just like we is, and we should practice that too, though, because we don't want to get too comfortable, and just putting the vowels in there. We want to be able to look at it because most of the script when we transliterate it, it's gonna be in that form. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just a matter of it'll aid us though.
No,
And
the
I
only
see
thing
you put our script instead of the hieratic in there.
that I put the what script in?
No, I see you put our script in there, the Iberic Egyptian instead
Oh
of
yeah.
which it ain't no big deal, but it'd probably been more good to put the hieratic in that time, being that's what we're dealing with.
Okay.
But it's cool though. It's cool, no problem.
And so the only thing I find hard is what vowel to use, because then my mind's trying to run through. Should I use A, E, I, O, U, or Y? You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
E is
E.
the universal rule that normally everybody use.
Okay.
It don't mean you have to use it, because some people, for example, you'll see some translation of the name Amen. You never really see an I. Only time you see an I in that is when you get into Arabic. But then when you go into Amen, most of the time you'll see some people put the U in there, like in the chairman name, took the coming at the end instead of. Sometimes you'll see it with the MEN, but the way it's spelled is UN by some people. Some people will put the O in there, but mostly universally accepted, you will see Amen as AMEN, then you will the Amun. But either way, it's really a guess on the way that they was actually expressing their dialect, and nobody really know. And that's why they just choose the E in most cases as the vowel. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The universal vowel, so to speak, to transliterate a lot of the words.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot the other thing, the reason why I was using, if I couldn't find a word in the two of the what is it called? The two of the tools that you sent, I will go to the other one. And a lot of times I'll find it, the translation in the other one as opposed to so that's why I was kind of bouncing back and forth between the ancient Egyptian dictionary and the Vegas.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what we wanted. That's why we sent all them tools, because I know you will be able to find more in certain other ones than the others. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One they actually went into, we got more dictionaries that we don't really pull up the other ones, you could have looked in those too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically really, I just tried to dwindle it down to what we had. That way you wouldn't have to be going through so many. And them the one that just got more definitions in. You see what I'm saying? You could have used the Wallace Budge if you wanted to, Alan Gardenia, whichever one you could, that's a good way to research, to go and look at it, the definitions of these words, because what it is, when you get into these different dictionaries, you're going to see the style of the writing varies. Well, some people might put just WD with a line under it. You will see in certain dictionaries, you'll see the WDJ. You see what I'm saying? And with
Okay.
Jet,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so it's good to look through there. That way you'll be able to identify those things as well. It's like certain area where you see the T, you won't see T, you'll see D. Well, you'll see Jet at the end. Sometimes you'll see D at the end, Jed. You see what I'm saying?
Islam.
So it's basically being that we had a knowledge of the sound shifting, that keep us sharp in those areas as well. And that has to be emphasized, the sound shift.
Yes.
Because it can't be overemphasized. It has to be emphasized. Because once people understand that, they understand, oh yeah, this is the same word, but this particular person expressed it this way, like the word K expressed with the letter X. You see what I'm saying? It's all in the sound shift. And it tell you that if you go through the rules in the beginning of the dictionary. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to add on that, to let you know you did right by going into the other dictionaries. Nothing wrong with that.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. And so with this next ayah, I did ayah 27 from that same chapter. It says general opinion is no proof of truth, for the generality of men are ignorant. And that's Rex Mbia Sesmet Eri Mayat he
You had that up there? Okay, yeah, it's right there. I see it in front of the other. It's in front of our script. I see it.
Yeah, and Awet Hihin Awet Kimwa.
It's Arek. It's Arek. And then actually Arek say M. Arek say M. Bia Shemet. Is that was there an error on that first S?
There might have been. I think it was. I didn't get a chance to.
That would be Sheshmet.
I believe there was something either on it or above it. Underneath
that's it looked like Sheshmet. Even without seeing it, I can see it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so that just come from looking at it all the time. And then you have Ari, Ma'at, which is easy. You have Hehin. Is that a hard H which go into a K?
I think that one might have had a dot underneath it too.
Yeah, so that would have been a Kehin. And then you have Awut, Ikimu. You see? And so I only reason I can see that, family, because I look at it so much, you know what I mean? And you notice I ain't got nothing in front of me, but I can see it as it comes because I can see certain words, you see?
But it sounds like
well, the more we work into it too, like when we work with them words, we're gonna be able to do the same. So that's why I say the more we work with it in these systems, just like you're doing a good job too, by the way. You know what I mean? And nothing wrong with putting it in our language, but like, if you'd have had it in the hieratic, that would have been good too. But other than that, the transliteration, you on point with it, and you definitely went word by word, because that's what we were talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about. You're on point, brother. Now you'll be able to express that. What you put together, you can go for, put your vowels in the proper place, and now you can express that. And you see how we can actually begin to use that as structuring the speaking. When people say you can't speak the language dead, now we just brought the language alive again. See what I'm saying?
Islam.
Yeah, Islam.
And for the last one I did ayat 25. It says a sword in the hand of a madman, even so is the soul to him who wanted discretion. And the discretion was hard to figure to try to find. It didn't have really no translation. So I went and I did, if you look down here, I put that ayak, which is to rule over or to govern, for that one. So that's why I didn't really translate into that. So but I have now this, you said the T would transliterate to the D and the J, or just the D?
Well, it's depending on the way that you demonstrating. Like T and D is always interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you see the J behind it or that line, then that's jet. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's how you differentiate between the two. And where you put discretion, nothing wrong with how you did what you did in the end, but you can always go to a thesaurus, right? And then look for the words that you will find in the thesaurus along with that discretion. And you can actually find a word as well that you may find in the dictionary under a different word that corresponds with what would be grouped with discretion in a thesaurus. You see what I'm saying?
And I tried that, but like even then I didn't really see
You didn't see a word that really related to it.
that what gave it the same,
I got you.
emphasis. So
Okay, Islam. That was just an add into the measure just to give insight, almost like I did with the word constancy, and it goes into saving power, resolute. You know what I mean? And in that dictionary, you can like go through there and type, hit the search, and see if it come up with them words. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if it come up with a word, then you can choose that word. That's just one way of doing it. But nothing wrong with what you did, because that's still showing your ingenuity. You know what I mean?
So
Yes, sir. We give honors to you. And I just wanted to add that in.
and then
To make the methodology a little easier.
Yeah, it does. It does, give it the glue that they need to see, because I'm really learning from that. There's a lot of things, a lot of the mitigating that I didn't really, I didn't really take into consideration when doing this. But
no, that's all right. You still, as we would say, we still killing it. The young generation, they call killing it something good, just like you're a bad man. But now, you bringing life to it is what we're gonna say.
So one thing that I realized in the end, when this last one I did, was to start putting in parentheses the line, if it had a line or a dot underneath it, so that it would, give the understanding if I didn't, because I couldn't convey it. So I put a line in the parentheses in it. This says the Met. What is that? Test the Met Mawe Hani Meha.
I'm surprised you didn't put Kafesh for sword.
You know what's crazy is I was looking for, and that didn't even cross my mind. That didn't even cross my mind to put Kafesh, because I was looking at the Vargas on here, or what Vargas had for the sword.
Nothing wrong with that. You still did well.
I didn't even think about that.
But I was just throwing a little something in there. I'm loving what you're doing over here though, because you literally, these ayahs you transliterate. You see what I'm saying?
It's long.
It's long. Go ahead, brother.
So with the line under it, it makes the hard
H. It's a hard H, which mostly go into, sometimes it's a ha sound, and if you remember, when you go into the Vegas and most of the dictionary in the beginning, it's going to show you the expression of which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, if you go into the hieratic dictionary too, you can always keep that on the side of you too. Like you can always go back to it. Any book will have it in there. If you go and look at what they call Egyptian alphabet, we got our abjad breakdown. But yeah, you just go and look, and then you'll know which one, the way to express it. In most cases, whether it's long or I got the dot on the bottom, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And so that just come with time and trial and error. But one thing it's going to always be that ha, a ka, ka. You see what I'm saying? Ha, ka, ka, ka. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All of them sound like, you can see the relation between them. You can even hear that G coming up in there. We know G is also interchangeable with one of the K. You see what I'm saying?
Islam.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
I said, oh, okay. So he net pois pou.
Pou.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Pou
right.
baswe.
Basawi.
Basawe. Okay.
Yeah.
Basawe wa iake.
Yep. There you go. And anytime you see like that W at the end, it's just like Netaru.
Okay.
Pu. If you see Anpu, you will see AP and W. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
ANPW part itself.
ANPW. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you see that W, sometime now, depending on what dictionary, you're gonna see the U there. Just express it as Pu. You see what I'm saying? Like you'll see Anpu sometimes spell ANPU. You see what I'm saying?
Islam.
So that's your sound shifting again. And that's like I say, once we do it more, it come with time. Okay, that's what that is. Like the Y is often interchangeable with the I. So when you see it there and it says it's like Awi or Awi, you see what I'm saying? Based on what type of A it is in the expression. But most cases it's Awi. You see?
Islam.
So it's Zemet im Awi Ha'ini Meha Ha'ini Meha. And then it says actually it's many Mahahi. And then it's Nutpu, Basawi, and Way Iaki. Islam. Yes, sir.
And that's all I did was that's all I did for the transliteration on those. So
man, you did a good job, bro.
Stop sharing.
And you got all the Unicode up there too. Showing where you can go back. And that's the way that we definitely want to bring forth our drawings. You know what I mean?
Yes,
because that's going to always bring us back around. Now, certain alphabets, and we'll get into it later because you have more than one, like the different type of S's, based on the structure that I had to recreate the Unicode. I mean, in the actual alphabet with, we don't really have that substitute S, but it ain't a big deal because we can always go back and use that symbol because that symbol was used in another area. So we'll get to that point. That's a more advanced stage. Main thing is you got it, bro. Sister Curta Bay was doing it too. She just didn't go and extensively put everything together like you did, but all of y'all pretty much, on point. So gratitude. That was a grand and magnanimous demonstration, my brother.
Islam, gratitude.
Islam, gratitude. And next up, we have our brother Marvin Evans Bed, our Grand National Secretary of the State. Oh, man, this is a grand class right here, Marvin. Go ahead.
Islam. I'm jumping in 12 feet.
Islam. Well, we already know.
Praise the Lord.
Islam.
Sharing my screen. Can you more see it?
Okay, I'm hitting it right now, Grand Secretary of the State.
All right.
Okay, it should be popping up in a second here. Let's see. Okay, add to screen. Yeah, I love the way Bati Bay put that demonstration together.
That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. And basically what he did too, that's the same way we were doing that dictionary where we were showing how we putting the A sections together.
Islam.
We did that the same sentence, and that's what's gonna help us complete it. section by section, because we're going in the abjad order with it.
Praise the Lord. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, more.
No, I was just going on to say we do it like that right there. We'll be quicker. We'll be done before we know it. Definitely before the end of the year.
Praise the Lord.
Oh yeah. We'll be able to use it and pass it on. More to have it in their hands to be able to go into it and utilize the words and constructing sentences. And oh man, it's gonna be a beautiful thing, especially when we go to speaking. Martial arts 2024, we'll be talking a little bit.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, Lord. Oh yeah, we got to push. Yes, Lord.
Praise the Lord. It's Lord Moore. Can first of all, I want to rise, giving all praises to our Father Allah, giving honor to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the last prophet in these days and times, giving honor to our E.A.R.S class this morning, to all of our Moorish kin on the panel, also to our family online, giving honor to all those Moors that opened up our meeting according to law, our Consul General, Dr. Marvin Edwards Bay, and our National Grand Secretary of South Carolina, Dr. Dendra Nia Kurta Bay. Also giving honor to our host, our National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Moorish America, Dr. Shadwa Menti El Mahedjid Shepsuel. Moorish kin, I was not extensive in this one, so pardon itself. I got to go back and do some more construction work. So dealing with the first part of the assignment, choose hieratic words. The 3 tools attached herein we used during our recent E.A.R.S session to transliterate ayats of Circle 7 of your choice. And I tell you, for some reason, transliterating the ayats, it kind of went by me, and I was more focused on the 3 tools, since I hadn't really gone in depth with the SLGH, things of that nature. So just pardon itself on that one. Now, the first one, coming from Poe, page 287, I just really pulled the R up, which was representative of mouth, and a lot of the keys that you were given to Dr. Dendra. Indeed, I had to write them down as a reminder to the self. Now, I did go to the HP database, pulling up the Unicode D21, which also has down here the R and the RA, similar in construction here. But I did not do the entire ayat from the Quran. Now, I did go over to the Ancient Egyptian Dictionary, page 1, again showing that same glyph symbolizing R, and this one Shmi Ra.
Islam, you there, Grand Secretary of State? It may be trying to shoot her thing, may be dropping again more.
Yeah.
Oh, we hear you.
Okay, hear me?
A little bit. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. It was kind of chopping out a little bit. Go ahead, Grand Secretary of State.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Praise the Lord. Yeah, it's been shaky all morning. And the SLGPH on page 29, the D21 is shown here, but it's shown as a compound letters or bilateral N and R.
Yep.
Let me see something. Oh, and I just kind of threw this in when I saw that. Oh my goodness, I didn't do the ayats. So mouth, I just pulled out wisdom speaks. But like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and put the actual ayat into it that was coming from chapter 1 and build the entire sentence from the letter. So more in depth. The MN on Poe found on page 287. You see this symbol here, and then looking up the database, Wi-Fi was the Unicode. Here's the MN, and you see the similarities between that alphabet and this. Now, MN, as you notice, following the Y5 Unicode, Ancient Egyptian Dictionary, page 30, it's got create, a moon, Amunet, secret, hidden, conceal, and hide, or secret place. So I just went to the meaning of silence within, which is where I'm going to do the further completion of the ayat from. And using MN Vigus coming from page 54 and the Y5 Unicode and the SLGH page 11. That's a little bit the MN that was pulled originally from the Ancient Egyptian Dictionary. And the third one pulled NW, which this is the actual letter, Unicode being U19. This comes from Poe, page 293, and the database plugging in the U19 Unicode. You see NW is still here, but it had it under Unicode U19 and U20. But you can still see the similarities here of that bilateral. Now, I had to look up some of these definitions because I said, what in the world is an ADZE? So when I plugged that into Google, in actuality, it's a tool used in ancient Kemet. And that brought me to the tool in the workshop of the mind, which I had to go to that chapter, pull an ayat out using that. But then it also dealt with time for a while or at the proper time, using NW as well. So the thing that came to mind coming out of chapter 1 was time never was. And again, I'll make it more extensive. And the last one coming out of same NW bilateral Vigus, page 103, right here, and SLGPH dictionary, page 27. You notice Unicode U19 on the Vigus, which this looks a little bit similar, but again, that's the glyph itself, and you see the NW. And then this one is just N, and the bottom one is the bilateral NW, where you see the actual alphabet. So that's my measure. Much gratitude to Dr. Dendra and Dr. Bati Bey. Did a great job, and gratitude more for calling me for
Islamism. Gratitude. And yeah, you and Dendra, y'all was into the metaphysics.
Yeah.
And very powerful though. Those are powerful measures there, because our people need to know that too. You know what I mean? And what we were actually looking for most definitely, is in the realm of what was being done, but there's a different portion for a different portion in regards to dealing with that knowledge. So what happens, what I see here normally, is that all of our people that come on here, the panelists, the scribes, pretty much bring forth, their gift from the treasures of the great God Allah. And it's still a part of what we have to be brought forth by the whole. There are no strange happenings, and we want to get comfortable in both of the expression. The way you was able to express what you express, by dealing with the Unicode, and the expressions of the different so-called indicators they put up there, how you break them down that way. And also the way that our brother Bati Bey came forth, that's the methodology by which you actually transliterate these things where we can speak them. So once you transliterate ayats, then that's the thing. We should that should be some of the things that we do as scribes. At certain times, if it's favorite ayats we have, take those ayats, go through the methodology, transliterate them into the vocal form, and we begin to build upon those things. We will place them in, our sentencing structure. That's a whole nother book in and of itself. You see what I'm saying? We got one that'll be dealing with the actual definitions of the words and the Moorish input that we'll put up there, and then that other book, it'll be one that actually deal with the phraseology that we come up with, and it will be unique to us. Is actually a new expression of the middle rate increment, but just from the Moorish standpoint, because the European will tell you that the other version is dead, but we still will have a knowledge to where now that we are able to look at the middle rate increment and look at what these letters mean and represent, we can use our molar tool and still go and study the papyri that was on the manifest for ancient time, because that'll keep us sharp as well. So this is just a powerful blessing in the lesson. You most showed up and showed out today, and our family, they're gonna get it, that's watching. They'll catch on to what it is we bringing to them. So yeah, we all right. Now we got our brother Marvin Edwards Bay over there trying to be quiet. Come on up out of there, Mo. What you doing?
Gratitude for calling me.
Gratitude, God, man.
I mean, that's just the way I roll. Nah. Yes. I appreciate the Moors that went before me, because I think I need more time to go into this lesson. I mean, this homework. And so okay, here we go. So what I'll do is bring forth just, because I know I didn't do in its entirety what was, brought on the manifest. Okay. So what I'll do is share my screen, and I'll do that here. And let me bring up what I'm wanting to share. Hopefully it'll come forth. Okay. So can you see my screen?
It should be coming up in a second here. Yeah, let's see it in the queue. I just hit it. But my little sluggish little sister. Yeah, I'm gonna go in this demonstration again and try to. Yeah, it should be finna pop up now. There you go.
So you can see it now?
Yeah, look like you did the same thing Body Bay did. Use our language. Nothing wrong with it.
Look, what are you seeing?
Well, I seen what you had a few minutes ago. I seen where you actually pulled up. It had our alphabet up there. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, right here, right?
Well, it was another page that I seen before you went to that. Unless that was, right there. That's what I seen. Yeah.
Okay, let's get on the same page.
Huh?
So let's get on the same page, because when you okay, I understand that it's a delay and stuff, and then when you're not seeing what I'm seeing, then that takes me off onto a whole nother mind state. I'll put it like that. So,
I see whatever you present, but that's what I seen when I was speaking. When I say I seen our language, I seen that come up before you hit the other slide, basically.
Oh, okay.
Nothing wrong with it.
I did have it up first, but I went to like the first slide.
Okay, but, so it may be a delay on my end over here then.
Mm-hmm. Because I put it like this here. Can you see that?
Not yet.
Okay, so that you're right. You got a delay, I guess.
Yeah, I can see it though.
Now I see it. It just changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and now we're on the same page. I understand. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate the more that went before me, because, I'm to be honest, I didn't make enough time to put forth the effort that's needed on this class, and so, I began by basically just getting my words and stuff like that together. And I moved on to this part. And yeah, and like I can understand, I missed a whole step in between here because I didn't go into any of the dictionaries. I didn't go into the Unicode. I basically just, after downloading this alphabet and the Iberic and the Medu, right? And so I just basically just transferred the letters into the different ones. Right here, I go into the Iberic, just click that, and then I just clicked on that, and that automatically translates it into whatever, which is the ayat that I was working on. And I see earlier you said ayats, and I just thought it was just ayat. And so I only did this one. And then I know I got to go back into it and reverse these. I mean, if that's, how we want to do it, like up top. Can you see my cursor up on this top demonstration? Because this is the way it is. This is the way it is reversed. So I just thought, and of course, this is the Medu Ray. And now this is that's the Ray in command. This is the Iberic Egyptian. So, I mean, that's basically what I did. And so, like I said, I would have to go back and go into, like reverse engineering type of thing to bring it back to where Emos are. Then, like I say, I can see it now. It would give a better understanding of the language itself. So that's where I'm at. That's what I did. Gratitude for allowing me to share.
You mean to tell me you got all them slides and you ain't sharing them?
Well, that was.
I'm just messing with you, bro.
It was just, no, those are just the words.
Yeah, I got you. All is well. But praise be to Allah. It's like I say, it's just really going through the methodology, and more is doing good in everything they bringing forth. Because you got to remember, this is a process that has never been done until we set out on the mission to do it. So any work that you are doing is progressive, as far as I'm concerned, and we just come in there to nudge or tweak a little bit into the frequencies, of the methodology. And the methodology that we are using is going to become more refined the more we use it. So that's what my purpose is just making, sure that we can become used to this and become immersed into what we're doing. You see, Islam. Go ahead, Brother Marvin Evans.
Oh, yes, sir. Pardon for the interruption, but when I was doing a little research, I came upon this African. I don't know, and I don't know. I guess I wanted you to weigh in on it because but they came into he did this thing that he had was presented in 2009. I don't know. You may be familiar with them, and I was just thinking he came in 2009 and talking about identifying, the Moors here in America as he spoke on the African, and because they changed the language, to like an African. It has some of the Egyptian in there too. And I was wondering if you could take a look at it.
What is it?
Okay, let me see.
What's the name of it? Is what you asked.
Okay, yeah. Do you know a chisel roll okiki?
I think I know what you're talking about. What's the name of the document?
Toward a revival of the vocalizations and development of speech communities for the ancient Kemetic Afro-Rakani language.
Yeah, that's the one that was talking about more is dead. More mean dead.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Um,
Can you pull the document up and let me put it in the queue?
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I actually did a rebuttal video on some of their material one time because they call themselves Afro-Rockani,
Yeah,
trying
exactly.
to people come from heat, which they accept the Ethiopian burnt concept, and then they trying to make it Africani, something they made up.
Mm-hmm.
Where the
Right. That's
word
what I was trying to.
Africa come from, and they put the words Afu and Ra together to make the word Africa.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? But that is not sound, an expression. That's something they came up with, but still trying to use a European methodology and make it ours, which
Okay.
you can't do. We completely separate from it. But share that though, and
Okay.
I'll show you where I actually went at them ones because they were trying to say more mean dead. Made a whole PDF on it. The
Okay. Can
same
you see
people.
that?
Okay, let me share it real quick so it'll blow up. I can already tell that's definitely the document right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the actual document that I came across. If not, I know it's produced by him. Let me blow this up real quick.
And yeah, because he was speaking on this other brother that like I was saying in 2009 came up with this demonstration. I'm saying like did he reach out to the Moorish American government that was already on the scene?
No, they didn't. Yeah, that's them same people. That might be the same document I got. I'm just trying to let this thing finish expanding out.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it though,
I was trying
but
to go up. Okay,
either
yeah,
that
here
or
we
it's,
go. Right
yeah,
here.
it's definitely them same people. But this is a different document from the same people.
Okay.
And see, they trying to construct, like I say, from they're trying to use other measures and trying to make some of those languages be Kemet. But what they fail to realize, Africa always had distinct languages all over the place.
Right.
Any words that you will find that comedically seem similar or are the same, the
Uh-huh.
only reason this is done is because it wouldn't be that these languages existed before Kemet, because we know Kemet was the first to come forth with the languages. But
Right.
it's actually the other way around. And so what it is all of these African languages have loan words that were borrowed into their language from Kemet.
Okay.
You see, but they had their own language. But see, our people over here, on the other hand, most of them that went and did their ancestry and DNA tests. So they're trying to rationalize, how that either they're gonna try to make it more ancient than Kemet, or they trying to tie themselves in it and still claim Kemet. You
Okay.
see, and they having a real problem with that because they need to let Kemet be Kemet, and
Right.
then let that country be that country, wherever it may be, and accept the fact that these are loan words because they're loan words from the Egyptian language into the Somali language. It's loan words in Igbo, Bantu. Just like if you look at Swahili have a lot of loan words from Arabic, even though Swahili is its own language.
Right.
That's natural because that's how we're able to find out what strong words are. You
Okay.
see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We're able to find out that strong words exist because we can see that word carried over into the Hebrew and carried over to the Arabic, and also in certain cases it carried over into the Hindu language. But that don't make some people would try to go and say, well, like you've seen some of the scholars saying, well, this is the Hindu is the real interpretation of Egypt, because they're looking at the loan words that were borrowed by their language, and it's convincing them instead of it coming from Kemet that now we gave birth to the Kemetic thing. And that's what's going on with people. You know what I mean?
It's,
But that's really like conjecture at the end of the day. You see?
right. 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 Yep.
Yeah, but nothing wrong with looking and seeing that because you know what to stay away from, and you can also correct it when you come across it.
Right.
You see?
Right.
That's what's going on though with a lot of individuals. I'm gonna see can I pull this demonstration up real quick. I'm gonna see will it is it gonna act right for me, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Same people there, I can see it. If they're not the same, they're definitely in the same circle. Okay, let's see here. So, okay, let me go to my videos. All right, we actually have some right here. Okay, I hit my videos. Yeah, that was one. I definitely had to put that demonstration in check. Once I seen it out there, them one got a whole PDF out there saying more mean dead.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, come on, man. Like, we got to stop this stuff here. You know?
Yeah, they're actually, like the brother was actually trying to take, say, like sort of like possession of the people here in America, saying, they belong to this particular demonstration.
Exactly. It's called selective research. Because in that whole dictionary, you'll see where they go around every good definition for the word more, beloved, and overseer of this, high priest of that. They'll go and overlook them just to go to pick up a definition. More mean dirty. It means swampland. It means dead. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, I go to thinking that you're an agent provocateur and somebody sent you when I go to seeing that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, what's your agenda? And trying to assassinate the word more. They feel they got to squash more and kill more in order for them to produce what they standing on. That should let you know that it's a problem with what you think you believe right there. If you got to tear something else down to make room for what you demonstrating and build whatever it is you building up, if you have to do that because you don't feel like it can exist, long as the presence of the more is on the manifest, that lets you know you ain't working with the truth. You know what I mean? Because you feel in order for you to plead your case, you got to get somebody else out the way. And that ain't how it work if you're an honest scholar. If you're an honest scholar, you're gonna look just like I keep telling these ones, the word more is not a word that comes from no Latin or no Romans. The Latins and the Romans had different words that they used for the word more. But the Latins did adopt the word Mari into their language from the native Moors. So if they adopted that word Mari into their language, it wasn't the Latin that come up with the term and applied it to the Moors. They adopted that into their lingua franca, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? But that don't make them the originator of the word. But and actually it's a video that I had did called "If Africa Means Smoke, Then I Want All the Smoke." That was the name of it, because they were saying the word Africa means heat, and smoke and all that right there. So that was my response, or rather a rebuttal to that. Here, go right here, as a matter of fact. And we'll just touch on it. We ain't gonna go all the way into it. I just want to show you that that we up on these things, because this is some of the things that we had to do to clean up. And we putting it in the archive, so if one go to looking and they ever come across that, they'll have the proper drawing as opposed to propaganda. Okay, so I'm gonna close these others out, these other tabs, and then once it come on, because it's gonna come over now, I'm gonna share it, and I go up in the clip a little bit so you can see how these ones were really butchering this demonstration. This is dangerous though, when it comes to what we trying to unite a people. And you got people doing this type of work. Hopefully it let it play. We're going to see if it let it play. It looked like the bar moving a little bit. Then I can share it. If not, you can always go back to the video too, and check it out. We're going to see what I go first though. For some reason, it definitely.
Islam, did you see that book that brother had put out there?
The book that the same guy put out there?
Yeah, well, I don't know what same guy that it was referencing, because it was a group, and then they were like a consortium of say tribes. I don't know what you
I
call it.
know what Jawu them put a book out of there, and they found out a lot of their stuff is plagiarized, so to speak,
Mhm.
and they didn't add their own knowledge to it. Some of them, I know a guy they was calling Alsa Imhotep. They said that
Oh yeah,
he,
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah. They
saw.
say
I
he
know that.
plagiarized the book. I didn't see it, but they say the community got on him because they seen he plagiarized the book. One thing about information, ain't
Mhm.
nothing new under the sun. So when one's go into dealing with this information, just like we building and we going in there giving our Morris definition. So that changed the whole demonstration. One can't say, oh, you took that and then republished it as yours. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
we went in there, we corrected that demonstration and put the Morris demonstration. So that's not theirs, that's Morris demonstration. But that's something he didn't do from what I'm hearing. He went and just collected some information and then put it together in a PDF and then put another name on it and called it here, you know. And that's what
Well,
happened. Go ahead, brother.
well, yeah, yeah. No, because I went to what is it, Amazon, and yeah, and then I saw that book. It's like $43, and I say I don't think I want to try to.
They gonna sell you somebody else stuff and put it higher than probably what the original was. Most likely they got a lot of that other stuff for free. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop this link in the email Marvin ever be, and I want you to open it up on your end. Because it ain't letting me do it, just like I had to do with the Grand Secretary of the State. It's
Okay, you
not.
want to go to the email? Okay.
Yeah, I'm finna let you go to it right now. I just put the video in there, and I'm finna send it to the same email. There it go, right there, YouTube. Because I want you to open this up, because I really want our family to see this in reference
Okay.
to it. There ain't too much I ain't seen out here. There it go. It say message sent. So everybody should have got it. So if the Moors want to go check it out on their own, and this was me standing in defense of the word more, basically. It's a shame that I have to be all over the place trying to defend, what they should already know. And it's sad because, this narrative is put out here on the spin of people saying the Moors enslaved our people. And it's sad, and we don't like to call our people ignorant. But when you ignore the truth, that's the true definition of ignorance, because
Right.
ones fail to realize the Moors are not the Moroccans. They fail to realize the Moroccans was the one that enslaved the Moors. You see, and not the other way around.
Right. Right.
We're talking
So,
about our people still being enslaved over there right now. Matter of fact, my literal ancestry, along with our literal ancestors, the Mauritanians, man, they slaves right now as we speak. So when you talk about Mari and the Moors, you talk about the people of Mauritania originally. Now, later they began to apply, the European began to call the Arabs, Moors, because they were together basically with, it was the Moors together, the African people, with the Arabs when they conquered Spain. And so it became a name that was also used for them together. But
right.
prior to that, it was just the Mari or the Moorish people themselves, which was our melanated people. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So I don't have it yet.
Yeah, you gotta, if you gotta probably refresh your because it's in there. You gotta refresh like you did before when I resent that link. If you
Yes,
ain't did that,
I refreshed it.
yeah,
Unless
sometimes you have to close the tab and open it back up, and you're gonna see the link down there. It's attached
okay,
to the same one I just sent to you to get in the stream, y'all.
okay, let me close. Okay, I'll close out.
The Grand Secretary got it, Body Bait got it, everybody got it.
Well,
So close it up and open it back up, and then you'll see it down there most likely.
Islam, Dr. Shahid. And when you was talking about it was Morocco, the one that enslaved the Moors, and
Yeah.
I got in a big conversation with a man I was sharing with him, and then they are so adamant about we enslaving the Moors, it's like it's a big brick wall up there. I mean, we was going, and I did the best I could, and I was telling him, I say, Morocco is the one that did all of that, and
They don't want to hear that. That's I'm gonna tell you.
yeah, but we was on good ground though. I held my ground, but I called Brother Muhammad, and I told him, I said, look, and Brother Leroy too, he's listening in. I say, we gonna get together. I need some help. We gonna go. I'm gonna show him. Yeah, I mean, you have it, but it was a good conversation. We weren't arguing anything, but I was trying to show him where, Morocco is the one that enslaved us. We did not enslave them. And then some of it, I didn't have. It was some information that's why I know I got to get stronger in that part of the teachings too. But you're exactly right. I had that conversation with a friend of mine just this week, and we were just going. We was talking. We was going head to head, and then he would. If I would say something that he wasn't familiar with, and I know he wouldn't, then he would go off on something else. But anyway, I hope Brother Evans Bay can get that and show this, because our family need to see this and hear this.
Well,
Gratitude. I didn't mean to jump in there, but I just wanted to share that little bit. Islam.
Well, let me say this briefly too, in reference to what Curtis Bay was saying. I'm gonna tell you why this is happening, sister. A lot of time these people know what you're saying. Don't make no mistake about it. I'm gonna tell you where it's coming from.
Oh, okay.
It's a thing that I like to call clan philosophy, right? For example, when you hear a European and they may say, if you don't like it in America, go back to Africa. That's clan philosophy. That's clan philosophy. You see? So you can tell what somebody listened to or who they was influenced by listening to them. Now, when you hear our people saying, you talk about enslavement of our people, and they come back and say, well, we enslaved each other. That's Eurocentric philosophy. It's called projection philosophy.
Okay.
So the concept of this is supposed to dampen the fact that we was enslaved by Europeans, because they justified by saying, well, your own people participated in it. You see what I'm saying? And so what has happened is, instead of our people standing in staunch defense of our nation, they are accepting this information based on what the European has said, and thinking they saying something deeper. Because they know, we all know we were slaves, but they want to say, well, we enslaved each other.
Right.
And a lot of time, if they take that strong position, it's because they have a strong affinity to try to be acknowledged by the European. Some of them may even like European women. I'm gonna give it to you blood raw.
Oh,
this is what I used to do. This is what I uncovered when I used to debate ones in the Disma Crips. I'm talking about, we were literally face to face, and I don't know internet.
Right.
So imagine me going back and forth, and we sitting there going back and forth, and I tell them, I'm like, I know what's going on with you. I guarantee you, this is what I would tell them, y'all see me go back and forth with people here. But I say, I guarantee you, if you open, because I was a little more fiery when I was young. I say, I guarantee you right now, if you open up your locker, you got some European women up in there. I would call them out, and it would be proof. In most cases, they did have European women. So especially if they got youngins that come up out of the union, or they may have some European buddies or friends they may have. So they don't feel comfortable about talking about being enslaved. Me, most of the European that I draw with, that's cool, that we friends and we work together. We can have these conversations like we talking, and they'll tell you, man, my ancestors PC crap. They just saying this. These actually people that's, they looking at it like this. We ain't enemies to each other. It's the Senate system that's the enemy. That's how they, so we can talk openly like me and you talking without they're not being any type of uncomfortable. I can tell them, and most of them be defending our people more than some of our people will. If I can put some of
Yes.
the guys that I work
Man,
with, European family, they'll tell
Yeah.
you that, like they'll say, man, the problem is, bro, and don't take offense to this. Most of your people have been taught to accept the narrative. And I don't get mad when they say that, because I know you're telling the truth.
Right.
I had one old European one time. We got into a conversation. He said, I'm gonna tell you what happened to most black people. He said, I don't want you to be offended. I said, no, go ahead. He said, they took on the personality of that Jim Crow white man. This is a European saying. He said that hatred and all that they was fighting amongst themselves before they even dealt with slavery. He said that slaves inherited that same mentality from the European base.
Wow.
And that's why it's so hard to reach you. And he telling the truth.
Yes.
It's a European. But it's a plenty of them on the website, that'll come out there and speak the truth like that.
Right.
I guess you can say they was influenced by that John Brown philosophy, or they come in the spirit of John Brown, who wanted to be buried, and they buried him in the cemetery with the slaves. You know what I mean? But you got some of them like that. But my thing is, they are standing defense more of what you should be standing in defense of, or we should, than most of our people. Just like you got Europeans out there promoting the Chairman book right now. Rick Smith. You got people like Tim Wise that get out there and tell you, and if you show a video of Tim Wise to our people, a European telling you, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear you saying that our people are being taken advantage of. This is a European telling them. So it even make me say, well, I thought if they hear it from the horse's mouth, it's different. But no, our people got this. It's like a spell on them. So where they actually anything that's speaking against their enslavement, talking about it, they don't want to accept it, even if a European bringing it to them. And that's a sad of slavery right there. And a lot of these, it's bad though when you are educated slave. Them the worst kind, because now I can speak eloquently and mislead people. All I got to do is say a couple of words, that they don't know, speak some Shakespearean English, say a few words based on what you done learned, how you've been trained to jump through hoops. And so now anything you say, people want to listen to you. Just because you speak eloquently don't make you a leader, though. That's what they fail to realize.
That's right.
Somebody can speak eloquent and be very clear and concise about what they speak, but leadership is often won in the hearts of a people. But some of our people so ignorant, not knowing, to where they hear somebody speak good and they can talk like a European, they will follow that, as opposed to somebody that's, they can speak and speak clear as well, but they ain't using all the big words,
right?
And they can be telling the cold-blooded truth, and they're gonna accept the one that sound like it. Who can sound like the European the best?
There you go.
I put my camera down sometime and listen to some of these people that talking, and you'll swear you listen to a European talk.
Islam.
And so that's what's going on. So our people have embodied and personified that Eurocentric thought pattern so much so they're always looking for an excuse to justify why slavery happened instead of talking about why slavery happened. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they come at you. And I'm gonna tell you also, it got to do with Western Freemasonry too.
Right.
The Masons feel recently, the Moors, Masons are really upset with the Moors because they feel like we get out here, we talk metaphysics to the public, we teach esoteric stuff to the public that they keep secret.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they can't.
That they had to pay for.
Yeah, they had to pay for it, and they can't speak it freely as we do. So they're jealous.
Yes.
So the only thing they can do is come in opposition to that. They'll say, "Oh, he's speaking pseudo stuff," and they'll try to attack Islam.
That's right.
The Muslims enslaved this, because it's people out there now going at Masonry talking about the Illuminati and the devil worship. And it was certain people that was Moors that brought this information to the manifest, and it's been damaging to their secret society to a certain degree.
That's right.
So that's why they have created this rebuttal to the Moors like they're doing. That's Masonic influence behind that, sis.
Oh,
And you probably was talking to a Mason and didn't know.
that probably was. You probably
because he already mad at the Moors for being who they is.
Yeah.
It take an honest man to admit when they wrong, and then also say, all right, I need to change my thought pattern and get with the real program.
That's right.
Stop getting into this sham demonstration, dressing up, because they dealing with cosplay. You see me right now, I'm in my Moorish garb. I ain't in no cosplay.
That's right.
I ain't dressing up trying to look Moorish. I am Moorish. But when you get into the shrinism and masonry, they imitating us, but they don't want to be us. You understand? You put Islam on your fez. You put Muslim on your fez. You put Ali on your fez. You put Quran on your fez. You put Egypt on your fez. But if you really tried to live according to them names, you know good well how them European gonna treat you.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes.
So they'll let you imitate, as if you are romanticizing, but try to be Islam. Try to be a follower of Muhammad. The same thing you got wrote on that fez. Try to be all that and watch how them Europeans turn that scimitar on you.
That's right. That's
and
right.
they doing the same thing, and it's really mockery. I just did some saved some photos because I keep things locked and loaded. For new things. I'm gonna show you something. I just clipped these and cropped these out last night because I be putting things together. When I come across stuff, I really don't plan it. It just be the spirit draw me and drive me to demonstrate certain things.
Islam.
And I'm gonna show you here. And people don't like it when we speak this truth, and they think, oh, he talking about the Mason. No, we ain't talking about nobody. We just telling you the truth. So I give you a prime example right here, right? These are civil rights activists. Now these individuals will swear up and down that Islam is wicked, and look at their faces though. You see them? These are all civil rights activists now. You'll never know that they part and partially demonstration. This is what's going on behind closed doors.
That's right.
All due respect to him, my grandmama and everybody love him, but look at Al Green. You see him right there?
Yeah, damn Al Green.
Not Al Green, y'all.
Yes, sir. 30-second, all them 30-second degree Masons. Right
Oh
there. That's what that represent right there, right? Now watch this. Who that is?
Wait a minute.
I know
that is Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover. I'm trying to blow it up. It ain't
I can see. Oh yeah, that's
That's J. Edgar Hoover right there, right? Now I'm gonna show you something else. So these people think they have affinity to each other, that they brothers to each other. It's our good brother. Who that is?
Oh, that's
Richard Pryor.
Richard
Yes,
Pryor.
sir.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes, sir.
Richard Pryor.
And that's the brother. This is I forgot this brother name. Y'all know who he is. Yeah, he's a brother that he's an actor too.
Yeah.
But I can't think of his name. But see, you actually have to be a part of this in order to be successful.
Right.
So if you wondering why your music career won't take off and you can't be an actor, because you got to be a part of that stuff right there.
There you go. You're exactly.
When you get up in them circles, there's certain things that you're gonna see. That they don't want you to keep secret. Now look at that. See, if you don't take your culture, this what happens. Now this is probably one of the same Europeans that hate the Quran and hate Muhammad on the surface, but low key, they basically swearing on the Quran.
They
If
say
they got that on their head, he took an oath on the Holy Quran, that European, because that's a part of their ritual. And they say that they follow the path of Ali. Look at that. See what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. So why should you be ashamed of being who you is when everybody out here trying to represent you? But you.
Did you see on YouTube? Did you see on YouTube that the Illuminati was recruiting?
Who?
The Illuminati was recruiting on YouTube?
Well, that's claim. They got some people that were part in the government claiming they part of the Illuminati.
Man.
But that's a whole nother demonstration there though.
Oh yeah. So, wow.
It's just a whole bunch of stuff in here. I forgot these here down here. Let me see. Because I got them all separated all over the place. a bunch of them that was still the same thing. Now y'all know who that is.
Who is that? I don't recognize him.
That Thurgood Marshall.
Oh, okay.
But look here. You know, all this masonry. This is Africans. These Africans.
Mm.
I think it's over there in maybe Ghana or Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's
Is it
why
the
I be
Muslim
saying,
Brotherhood?
huh?
Is the Muslim Brotherhood linked to that?
Well, it ain't even Muslim. Muslim Brotherhood is mostly just Muslims, but some of these probably Muslims over there in Africa. I'm just going to show you how far this masonry done went.
Yeah.
So my thing is, being that y'all all over the world like that, why y'all ain't freed nobody?
That's right.
You
That's
see,
why they
because
robbing
you
y'all.
still under the control of another man.
Yes.
You
Mm.
understand?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep. Yep.
You know, and we don't hate them for being who they is. We just say,
Lewis.
Yeah,
yes,
I remember him.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my
We
goodness.
can't make this stuff up, family. You know, so it goes on and on and on.
Yes, it do.
And so that's what I'm saying. And so they can't speak as freely as we speak.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can't do it. And so that's where the conflict come from. You know, the jealousy, you know, the envy, the animosity, and all of that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it all come from. And the same thing ended up infiltrating our Moorish family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like these the Moors that followed Curtin Bay.
Mm.
Watch this. That's all of them right there with Curtin Bay, right?
Mm.
And you see him right there. Look at that Masonic fez he got on.
Wow.
That ain't even the fez that he wear with Sultan and Allah. Sultan on this one say Allah, and it got the crescent of the bingle claws. Really,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a Shriner's fez basically.
Wow.
You know,
Mm.
full flare sitting out there with the Moors.
Yeah, sitting right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. And
Wow.
so that's what's going on. And so they infiltrate, you know, different bodies. And their thing is to get on top in the body. And then basically you got Masons controlling the body.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They feel like that's the way they keep things in line and under their particular point of governance.
Right.
And they think that's what's going to help the world.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
if they control your organization. So that's what they do. They try to get in there. That's the nature of the boule. And they were trying to do it with the prophet and he wouldn't let them. So that's why they did what they did.
Right.
That's why I keep telling them Noble Drew Ali wasn't a Mason, because if he was a Mason, they wouldn't have did to him what they did.
That's
He
right.
would have already been doing what they wanted him to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the ones that did what they did was Mason. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And they was messing with the European, the Thule Society.
Islam.
You know,
And
so that's Illuminati basically. That
Right.
went against the prophet.
And see, and that's another reason why the prophet speaks to us in reference to preserve and protect, because
Yes.
we can't walk around here with blind eye thinking that, oh, it's not going to be any infiltration, and you can see the signs of it every day. You
Right.
know, you got to stand according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and nip that stuff in the bud.
That's right. That's right.
And see, and you know, you said something. Now check this out. We got a brother in the building want to give honors to a Medu. And see, this is what it causes too. When we start exposing this type of stuff, you know, ones take it as if we are going in opposition from a standpoint of hatred. That's not what we're doing.
Right.
We're showing you that if these people have been around longer than the MST of A, and our people still ain't free, then they ain't the one.
That's right.
If they ain't built no government with all them tentacles that they got all over the world,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Something wrong with that.
That's right.
That means you content with where you at. So if you see somebody like us come up and we building government,
Mm-hmm.
then you just stay out of our way.
That's right.
If you want to be a part of whatever you're a part of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But don't get mad at us because we building government and you want to stay loyal to the one because you took the oath to.
That's
It's
right.
in the oath. You got to stay loyal to your government.
That's right.
To them, the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of them won't, and they more loyal to that than they are to their people. We
Right.
ain't saying that to attack them. We saying that because that's the truth. Because if you loyal to your people, like Marcus Garvey, for example, he was more loyal to his people. He was a Mason. Marcus Garvey was a Mason. He was part of African Lodge 459. Him and Deuce Muhammad Ali.
Right.
But the thing is about it, Marcus Garvey didn't love Masonry more than he loved his people.
Right.
We see it in his works.
Right.
And when you have more love for your people, oftentimes you end up being to them a betrayal or one that's demonstrating treason against Mason.
That's
And
right.
that's why he had attempts on his life.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
see, because at that time, when you anytime you part of that organization and you go to saying that our people is God and we the original people, that's breaking the oath.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Mm-hmm.
to them, that's too much. That's supposed to be kept in secret.
That's
You
right.
see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, just like even our brother Elijah Poole Bay, he was a Mason, but even him, he didn't love Masonry over Islam.
Right.
He wrote a book. I got it right there. He tell you European Masonry don't go nowhere beyond Europe in England. Stop paying them your money.
Mm.
But he also said that he won't speak on certain things because he swore not to say it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the main thing is, it's based on how much courage one has.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do before the prophet came, you ain't judged by that.
Mm-hmm.
This brother here said, even though, and I believe he was saying even though, if Black Masonry and Moors got together, they could help one another. We don't got no problem with that thought pattern right there
Mm-hmm.
at all. We can agree with that. But the only problem is a Mason can't get with a Moor in the state that he in because the oath that he took won't allow him to,
That's right.
even if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? We understand that, but you got to get some courage about yourself.
Yeah.
And say, man, don't no man own me. I'm who I am. And then they can use that French, like the Grand Secretary of the State was saying last night, in a way that they can aid and assist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I move through the land all the time. I done had Masons come and they think that I'm part and parcel because they look at our symbolism and I tell them no. I tell them quick, no, I'm not a part and parcel what you a part of. And I say this, I'm a little more ancient than that, my brother. I don't say it disrespectfully, but I tell them that when they think that, we demonstrating the same thing. If they go to acting crazy, like I had one brother one time in a McDonald's, and he used to barber my son, but he was in the lodge. And there was one in there talking to me about me, and I was talking to him about the prophet. So I guess he kept that conversation in mind because this was like months later.
Uh-huh.
I seen this brother. I guess that's the one that was bringing the brother I was speaking to about the prophet, into that Masonic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I seen him up there, and there was another brother that started talking to me about my medallion. This same brother was there. He was quiet when I talked to the other brother, but then he got another brother he raising up into that demonstration. So as we started talking, I guess it moved him some type of way. And so he came and went to talking about he's such and such and such and such. So I asked him, I said, who made you? So the people that's making the food, they looking at what's going on. They don't really know what's going on. He talking about whence coming. I said, who made you? And then when I walked out the door, he drawed like he was drawing his sword. And I said, all right, I snapped my hip like I'm unsheathing my scimitar. You see what I'm saying? To let him know, man, you gotta sit down somewhere. Even though I'm not part of what you part of, I know what you're trying to say. And this is my response to that. He reached down and drew out. Because I was talking to the brother about I have fun with the one when they did. Oh, that's a whole lot of light you got right there. Yeah, this light more ancient than yours, no brother. You need to come home. You know anything about Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Oh, I ain't never heard of him. What? Who made you? Yeah. I come from lodge such and such. Bro, I didn't ask what lodge you come from. I asked you who made you. God Almighty. Well, what's his name? God Almighty. Oh, you can't even say his name, brother. Man, you going too deep for me. Where you coming from? Anderson Constitution? Duncan Ritual? No, my brother. I say I'm coming from the one who made you. you know, and then so they don't even know what they think they know, and then they be like, man, you all over there in Egypt, man, somewhere. That's exactly where I'm at, bro. The halls of Luxor is where I'm coming from. Come home and throw that other demonstration back around, you know, and then they be, you know, you don't put them on a mindset after that. Now, next time they see you, either they're gonna run from you or they're gonna have honor and respect, and they'll know better than to try to play with you next time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Islam.
I've been in vicinities moving throughout the terrain and had a lot of individuals approach me. You know, like just say a grand gathering of our people be out there. I ain't got nothing going on. It's just the way that I carry myself. And them ones walk up to me, brother, I just want to let you know I see you. You know what I mean? You need anything, I'm right here. You know what I mean? Because they think I'm a part of what they're a part of because of the way I carry myself. And then I tell them, no, brother, I'm a Moor. You know, well, I know who the Moors is, man. You know, they'll go to talking about some of them will talk about the prophet.
Yeah.
But my thing is, that's what they do. They talk to go through the houses of belief and not stay in them. So they'll go through Christianity, then they'll go through Islam, they'll go through Hebrew Israelite, they'll go through the Kabbalah, they'll go through, but they ain't got no intent in making themselves rooted in nothing because they taught to be traveling men. You know, in Islam, we tie our camel to the date palm tree, so to speak. In other words, you rooted where you at. You know, you ain't all over the place. You may be able to draw from these things, but you all over the place. You know, these people all over the place. And so that's what's going on. The brother said here too, he says, since not all Moors and black Freemasons, the ones that have real love, could come together, since Moorish science is the parent of Freemasonry. You know, and yeah, it takes love. We got one brother that come up in here before, the Adeptus 69 brother, I think they are 96. You know, so it ain't a fact of that we don't want to come together. We just understand our missions is different. Nothing wrong with you being who you are. The problem is you under somebody else's government. So it don't matter what you call yourself.
That's right.
You see, like the chairman said, you may have the right idea, you know, but you moving in the wrong direction. You see, when it comes to yeah, you know what I mean? And so when you deal with the governmental aspect of it, you know, of understanding that we here to build a nation, that's the part they ain't comprehending. We ain't here as just no group of people dressing up like Moors just to look like Moors and look good and, you know, cosplay. You know, we do this 365 all year round. You see? So this ain't for show.
That's
we
right.
building a nation. Unlike organizations, they just content with meeting up 1, 2, 3, 4 times a week, going home. Yeah, man, you heard that brother, you heard that sister. They were bringing that fire. You know, that one sharp, and then you still back in the same egg crate you was in before you went to that little meeting you had in secret. You know, or you get in there and go into getting in the meetings, because they don't do nothing but get in there and go to beefing and griping about what the European, you know, doing to them, the thing they scared. That's what they be trying to keep secret. They don't like the way they be treated, but they scared to be vocal about it. So every now and then when some people come up from among our people that have the courage to speak truth to power, now they want to put their little 2 cents in, you know, and try to pull them into their demonstration and corrupt them. You know, when I say corrupt them, I'm talking about with that fearful spirit, you know, and try to justify it by saying that's my brother man. No, you scared of that man. You'd rather be his brother man than get out there and tell him, you done enslaved my people. Pharaoh, let my people go. You know what I mean? And so that's the dilemma we dealing with, family. And, I see our family here. I think Brother Marvin, that was Bay. Did he get that link?
Yeah. Did he ever get it?
Let's see. Did
no, I didn't get it. That's all I was trying to say. To you said that Bati Bay and the Grand Secretary, that's the Grand Secretary.
Yeah, they may have got it. Let me see. Brother Bati Bay, our Grand Secretary, said, did y'all get that link I just sent to that email?
Islam.
Okay, yeah. Can you share it, brother?
Islam. Give me 1 second.
All right. Yeah, and let me stop sharing my screen first. Yeah, because we're going to get ready to close out in a minute.
Is it the YouTube demonstration?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, so here we go. Present share screen.
And we ain't going to start it from the beginning. We'll let you just hit it and go toward the middle and let it fall where it may. Because that's what. Start it from the beginning. We'll let you just hit it and go toward the middle. Yeah, and let it fall where it may. Because that's start it from the beginning. We'll let you just hit it and go toward the middle. Yeah, and let it fall where it may. Yeah, nothing wrong with you, brother Medu. Nothing wrong with where you come from. And it ain't about, like I said, an oppositional standpoint. We just telling the truth. You know what I'm saying. You can't speak as freely as the Moors speak because it go against your oath to say certain things that we say publicly. But some people, they don't know no better. You know what I mean? But we give honors to you. You welcome here anytime. You can come on the panel too if you ever wanted to and speak the truth. So we love you. All right, brother Bati Bey, you can go ahead.
Islam. I clicked on that on it, and this is the one that's bringing up. It's bringing up this one.
Yes, it should be. If Africa, hold up. You know what? Probably have. It probably got. I got you. Just give me 1 second here. But sometimes if you hit the link in a particular demonstration. Hold up. Let me do this here. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Sometime it'll reshare something else if you ain't copy it right. Okay. Come on. Okay. I'm just trying to get it to load all of. You know what? I can copy it from right here, from the top of the screen. Because it's taking time to load in instead of waiting for that share button in there. It's still gonna be the same. There we go. Come on. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Because I really want our family to see this. This is very important. Okay. Okay, copy. Okay, so I just copied it. And I'm going to send it again. And it should pop up in a second, Brother Bati Bey. As soon as I send it. Okay, yeah, this it right here. Yeah, that was the other video too. Okay, there it go. It's coming right now. Okay, it says sent. So you shouldn't even have to stop sharing your screen.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, you can just keep it open as it is, and then just open the link. Oh well, I already stopped presenting, so I'm gonna have to present it again. Oh, it's presenting, right?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Let me get over here then.
Get this out.
And like I say, move the cursor up, the line, the stream line up a little bit and go into it. Like I said, you can let it fall where it may. You can go over there by where it say yay angels, and that'll probably be a good area to start it. Okay, you hit play. So this assumption. Are you playing it, brother Batibe? You may have to hit share audio.
I got it on. I had it on mute. So
Yeah. You muting it out. You might want to unmute it or hit share audio when you share it. You can
sure.
unmute it.
All right.
Yeah, I mute out on my end. That way it won't.
Let me know if you hear it. Here we go.
So let every one of them know that it spoke out. If you got some written works out there, we coming for you.
Can you hear
We're
it?
going to put it out there before the world to see. Because I read a lot of the works of
Islam.
who've been perpetrating and frauding out here, trying to make money off the misery of our people. And now I'm finna expose all of you. So let me come back over here again to this particular work. He said more means dead, and he used the root M and R. Let me show you how he tried to manipulate our family, Moors. He started with this particular definition. Mirror. What that means: collection, water, lake, pool, cistern, reservoir, basin, canal, inundation, flood, stream. Then he went here, mirror. It means swampy land. Meru, plain, mountain, meret, desert, land, wasteland. You see, now he went into all of this right here. Now I'm gonna tell you something about this particular word. He just took a whole bunch of words with M-E-R and tried to bunch them together. But he gonna get it real off the chain in a minute. But I'm gonna show you how selective this brother was in seeking out information out of this particular dictionary, a European work. Now, I ain't got no problem with him digging through the work. My problem is if you gonna go into the work, then the prophet say when you get the pen in your hand, then you write the demonstration. So you should be going in here to critique the work of this European, not use the European work to slander our people. Because when I go in here, I'm going in here and I'm gonna correct some measures. So right here, Mir and Meru. Really, Mir and Meru actually refer to this plain and this mountain. This is actually referring to Nubia. And I spoke on this in a previous class. Matter of fact, the night before last night, the Meroi. And Meru is a universal name. When they talk about the mountain Meru, or Mount Meru, this is actually referring to this particular place. I'm going to do it like this here because I don't want to just talk about it and not show it to you. Because if I just demonstrate, then you're going to think I'm just talking. I give it to you like this right here. This is Mount Meru, Africa, in Tanzania. Now, he is out here claiming that he's African, but he's trying to slander the name Meru because he hates the Moors this much. But yet he's claiming he's demonstrating from a Comedian perspective. You see, this is Mount Meru. There's also a teaching in regards to dealing with Mount Meru according to the Hindus. Meru is, here you go. Here's one dealing with Buddhism. See, they say Sumeru, Mount Meru. You see, the name of the central world mountain in Buddhist cosmology, etymologically, the proper name of the mountain Meru is Pali Meru, which is added. You see, it said the approbatory part itself prefix su, resulting in the meaning excellent, Meru, wonderful Meru, right? So there's a Mount Meru mentioned here. Also, Moorish kin, when you go, man, you can go, it's a Mount Meru pretty much all over the place. They're everywhere. But Meru also have to do again with the people of the Meru Kushite dynasty, so to speak. And we went over this last night. All my measures pretty much will link up with other measures. You see, Meru is a name of Kush. So when you go into understanding that, and the Kushites are in Kemet, that's where the term Meroitic come from, the Meroitic language. And we showed that the vowels for the language come from the Meroitic language. So going back, family, this is one of the things that he didn't emphasize too much on. But he tried to tie this to the word merit just because they was beside each other. And this is the desert land. This is the wasteland, the wilderness. You see, so he took this word and basically tried to say, well, this mirror means swampy land. And then he went all the way down here. We ain't going to read all the foolery that he got going on. We just going to show you what he did. Then he took this word, mert, funerary chest, a coffer, because he want to signify that this means death. That's what he's saying up here. This is dead land or swampy land. This is damn land. You see, mirror. Now, he didn't go into the emphasis on mirror meaning amen. See, he didn't emphasize that. Mirror, he say, means to be sick, pain, grief. Meru, sick man. Mirari, a sick man. Mert, everything that was negative with a root of M-R, M-E-R, to die, death, damn. He pulled these special definitions up, right? He even took the term which pyramid derived from, mirror. You see, and then he tried to say, well, the pyramid, this has to do with the dead land as well. He mentioned that, as a matter of fact, right here, when he was speaking of Mera, in the ancient name of Egypt, Patamera, or Patamera. Tamare, a lot of people like to say. But he said this reference to dead land, death, flood, swamp. And then what he did is went to the term more. Now, in the dictionary, this term more here has nothing to do with a person. It has to do with the ground. So he took this word that deals with the ground. And there's another word that actually deals with the word more, which actually deals with a ship. You know, he tied all of this information up right here to say more means dead. Now, this is not a person. This is dealing with land. This is not the Moor as in a Moorish person. But see, this is how crafty one is. They come and they try to tie things in with a European definition, basically using all European definition to attack the one free national names of the Moorish Americans, while at the same time trying to create his own definition for the word Africa. You see this? You ain't seen nothing yet. Watch this. So he's just regurgitating right here. So he putting all the same thing in here that he's already said. Oh, it means the damn name of Set. Mera. Then he went back and took it back to Patamira. You see, Mera, you know, Tamaray, which is actually the ancient name for the land of Egypt, Mera. And the reason why he had to attack that as being dead land, because he know that this word here being linked, if you take the vowels out, the A and the E, then you have the M and R, which actually is the same root of the word more. You see? So how you going to attack Kemet and claim that you are a Khan, an African, and one who descend through Kemet? The Akan come through the lineage of the ancient Canaanites. And ancient Canaanites come through the lineage of Ham, Akan. Goodness gracious. How can you be so ignorant? You see, let me show you something, right? Now, somebody that's asleep, he don't mislead a lot of people that sleep. So then he came over here and he was saying that the Akan have a proverbial saying, meaning love is death. So he tried to tie now this totally different word, mir, which means to love, desire, to wish for, to crave, for, to will, to love, desire. You know, he tried to tie this particular word back to the other word because they spelled the same. But if you look at the so-called glyphs here that they have as a language, they're definitely different from the glyphs that are up here in this particular word. Totally different. You see what I'm saying? So only one who is ignorant will fall for this foolery. And this truth and falsehood are strangely mixed. You know, so you're saying that mir means love, but then you're saying mir means death. What it is, you don't know how to differentiate words. You trying to read, you know, a foreign language in the way that you read in the European way. In other words, just like we would read in a dictionary and relate particular words to other words. He trying to do that with the Comedian language. And this is a European expression. Do you know that you have to go in here and dissect these words word by word and really come up with the true definition from a Comedian perspective? You have a Eurocentric thought pattern and you trying to convince of people, ignorant people, people don't know no better, and they'll actually believe this if they don't know, but I know better. So you can't fool me. Now watch this. So he kept going on. He regurgitating the same thing here. I'm going to show you the sinister aspect behind it, Moorish kid. So he went here then and said, okay, well then the word more was corrupted. Well, the word MR was corrupted to more. You see, meaning swampland, water, marshland. Do you know that there's a portion where the European gave their definition of, again, 3 particular persons, places, or things they referred to with this M-O-O-R. One was the Moors as a people. The next was more in regards to dealing with a land. This in the European dictionary now. This is the definition that he's trying to tie back to the people. And then more as in where you take a cord and you moor a ship to a dock, so to speak, so that the ship won't flow out, and basically you lose your ship. So you anchor it down, you moor it, so on a higher level, we Moors know that has to do with mooring yourself with the golden cord of love, basically mooring your heart from your heart to your brother's heart. You take that golden cord of love. This is the demonstration as we demonstrate the science. So he has corrupted that particular insight here. So nevertheless, he went into saying that this word Amir means to love, and which is what they placed here. And then he came up with amor. So he compared this with the Spanish word amor, right? Love. So you come here, then he tried to use the term what I was telling you about earlier, merit or meru, boats, shipping in a port. This is where you deal with tying that particular ship, so to speak, or the mooring process, So he went into all these different measures here, trying to make comparisons. But notice, there you go right there. I mean, that's the mooring post. But he tried to go through all these particular measures, Moorish Ken. I don't know if a Moor made him mad or they upset at him, but he went out of his way. And I'm finna show it to you in a minute. He went out of his way to find every negative connotation with the root M and R to try to discredit the Moors. But I'm going to show you what he didn't show you, though. I'm going to show you what he hid behind his back. And these words right here, a lot of them that he copied and pasted, these same words were actually, some of them was a part of the same definition. So it means he read over these definitions, just to get to anything negative that he could find to make the name more sound negative. But I'm going to show you something that goes far more extensive than what he done put out here. And he didn't go into no aspects of explaining. You see again, Mir, Mut, Amen. So Amen was referred to as Mir as well. See, he don't want to get into no explanations on why Amen means Mir. See, Amen or Amen Ra, is where the term Amen come from. But Amen was very revered in ancient Kemet. Anybody, if you know about Kemet, that's one of the first names you come into contact with, Amen Ra. You see, so why was Amen Ra known as Mir? See, he didn't talk about that. And there's a reason. No, he want to go into the demonstration and say the MRW, this means servants, underlings, partisans, supporters, bondmen. Anything negative that he can find now. This is what he did. I'm going to show you what he read around to get to this, though. Everything that had M-E-R in it, he tried to use it, to benefit him. Everything negative, I would say. So he went through all of this in special drawing. And so he was going pretty much back and forth and over with the same thing here. You see him saying the same thing here. He's redundant. Like I said before, he basically did that, to make the document more extensive. This is the same thing he said in the beginning, Mir. Here you see the definition Mir with Amen there again, which confirmed what I said. That's the second definition. But see, his emphasis is this sick man demonstration. Mirari, Mirua, Mirror, Mirror, female slave, peasant, dependent. He's trying to use everything that he can to place a negative connotation on the word more. And therefore, by the time he come up, then he drew this conclusion. Hold on, let me see. I want to blow it up so you can really see it. He came to this conclusion. More means dead, the dead, damn. Now, this is his definition. This is his word Africani that he created, you know, by piecemealing different words and chopping and screwing the demonstration. So basically, and then now, you know, he want to trace this back to the Eurasian language of black and so forth, and black and all of that. And I guess he's not accepting that word because he accept this word. Remember, I showed you that he had got this definition from where I pointed it out to you at. Let us go back. Remember? See? Afir, to burn, to be hot, afri. Smoke, hot vapor. It's the same definition that he used. So it's the same dictionary that he used. It's the most extensive. That's why he tried to use it. But he ain't saying nothing. All this loud talking right here, and he ain't saying nothing. You see? But you want to condemn the Moors because you say the Moors demonstrate Eurocentric ideas. But you demonstrate from a Eurocentric perspective. You don't even have the insight to go into and give your own exegesis. You just copied and pasted and then tried to put words together that look similar and say this is what it means. But you would never find this word as a whole, as we just showed you. You know, there is no word Afra up there. There is no word, you know, the way he put it up there talking about Afrika, you know, Afriatakat. There is none of that in the ancient Comedian teaching. This is something he came up with. And if he's saying this word came from the Akan came way after the ancient Kemites did, the people of Ghana. You see? So then he even talked about what he called the Black Berbers. That's another misguided terminology that he using. A Berber, the name Berber was given to the Moors by the Arabs. And the Arabs gave them that name. It actually means barbarians. Our people never referred to themselves as barbarians. And the reason why they gave them the name, because they didn't want to honor the name that they were known by, the name Mari. Because Mari actually meant Moorish gods. You see? And we put this out there as well for our family to see. So if Mari meant Moorish gods, and you can go look at my last video I did, and you'll get all that breakdown. You know, this is why the Arabs, being that they was demonstrating the monotheistic approach, you know, they felt some type of way coming into contact with the Moors calling themselves gods. So the key in regards to dealing with this special name, Mari, that we're talking about, and we actually demonstrated this the other day, as a matter of fact. We're going to go right here. I'm going to show it to you again. You see this right here? The conquest of the natives. And I spoke of this right here before. See this word right here? Moorish gods. The Demari or the Morici. You see? They was called protecting God, saving God. And this word Mari, even in other languages, mean spirit of God, the spirit. So even if you change different languages, it's either relating to God, spirit, or it's relating to a man, or it's relating to the land. That's something that he didn't want to tell you. Well, we seen him try to hide it when he spoke on Tamare or Tameri. You see, Patameri. When he spoke on that, he was trying to cover that up and say it means dead land. But that's not what the definition states. The definition just states simply it's the name, an ancient name for Egypt.
You see?
Islam, Brother Marvin, that was
And this
late.
is all because of hatred. Now, hatred make people demonstrate like this.
Islam.
A Moor
Yes,
made
sir.
man, he hate the
I
Moors
meant, Brother
demonstration, or he
Batito.
was sent as an
Okay.
agent.
Islam.
Hey, brother, you can stop it now. And
Islam.
you know, basically, you see what I was showing you, but that's what they've been doing, fam. You know, they've been doing that, and we see our Grand Secretary of the State that kind of booted her again. And pardon self, sis, if you was out there a while, because I had my demonstration looking at the video wide open. But we actually getting ready to close out. But we were just presenting to our family, you know, how disingenuous that brother was in producing that 32-page document, slandering the word more and creating his own word Africa, you know, by trying to piecemeal different levels together. And I can tell it's showing that he got a DNA test that say he come from the Akan people. So he's saying Afra and Akan, this is where he getting the word Africa from. You know, and you know, we already know the fancy of it. You know, but anytime you'll see a dictionary and look around everything positive and pull something out, cherry picking negative connotations, that's a real problem right there. You know, and like, why would you even go out your way to compile something like that? Like I say, either more offended him, you know, for some reason he was just taught that hater Mickey Moore demonstration, somebody slipped it in on him, or whatever the case may be. I had to rebut that when I seen it come up, talking about more mean dead. And it may be even response to we saying black according to science mean deaf, one taking offense to that. But you know, we just put that out there so that our family will be able to go to that information and see that that's misinformation. So if they come across the Moors, they won't be looking at the Moors sideways based on what they done looked at in some garbage like that somebody would put together. You know, but one's got more time to put that stuff together and go in opposition to their people than coming together to unite with their people. You know, so man, all I can say is you know, once the way we are being taught here, family, can't nobody come to us with no anything. They can't come to us and act like they got no secret lessons, more sacred than the lesson we bringing. You know, because by the time you get here in this government, if you ever come, those who are outside, you're gonna realize you heard it all, because we ain't heard nothing from the people. Everything they try to speak in secret, we proclaim from the pinnacle of wisdom. You know what I mean? Because all of it belonged to us anyway. You know, so it's just a grand drawing, more. It's a powerful demonstration. You know, I even had just in closing, I had individuals talking about, yeah, you think you this and you think you that. Well, go ahead and what they say, take your DNA test in. So, you know, I went and took my DNA test. And I did it not being dependent on what the European was saying. You know, like I doubted what I am. You know, I took it because I wanted to really see what was, you know, the hype about. And so what I found out, you know, is my DNA, you know, really is the DNA that give birth to the E1B1A. It ain't E1B1A. I come from the one that gave birth to the E1B1A, which is mainly our people. You know, that's what my DNA chart say, right? And I'm gonna show it to our family real quick, just a portion of what it said here. I'm gonna show you the migration pattern too of the ancient maternal mother and the paternal father. You know, I'm gonna show our family that right there so you can see what it's saying. But what really hit me is that it's got my relatives in here. Now that threw me out because when I went into this thing, I didn't put a race on there. You know, like they want you to put African American, you know, all that stuff there. So I put other on there purposely because I want to see if this thing can trace something, then it surely it'll trace back to the fact of showing them, you know, consider what they would call, you know, African American in their book. And that demonstration not only pulled certain things up, but it actually pulled my father's nephew up, my cousin, by me putting my DNA up there, pull my literal cousin in there, my father's nephew, which is my father's brother's son. And it got a couple of more people over here that I've been around and didn't even know that they was related to me, but it pulled them up too. So anybody that took this DNA test, basically, if they related to you, it automatically pull your relatives up. First cousin all the way up to the fourth. It don't get no more proof than that. You know what I mean? So let me show you right here. It even pulled people like from my grandmother's side up as well. Like her original name, because my grandmother's original name was Atkins. And it pulled all them individuals up. Going up to New Jersey where my people is up there. All of that. Let me see here. It's kind of spooky to a certain degree. Because it let it be known that if one can pull that demonstration up, you know, them ones know all of your family, basically. You know? Okay. Let me get it over here. I'm finna share this screen real quick. Present it. All right, share the screen. Okay, and we'll just do the full screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, can you see that Moorish kin?
Islam.
Okay, so this is actually, you know, my paternal line, right? And it go back to 275,000 years, right? To just one man, the common ancestor of haplogroup A. You know, the current evidence suggests he was one of the thousands of men who lived in Eastern Africa at the time. However, while his male line descendants passed down their Y chromosome generation after generation, the lineages from the other men died out. Over time, his lineage alone gave rise to all other haplogroups that exist today. That's why I said this is the one that gave birth to the haplogroups, right? Something that we already know. We know we the original people. That's all it's saying. It say the first steps of your paternal line ancestors led from Eastern Africa northwards toward the Red Sea. Haplogroup DE M145 and DE lineage branched away from its brothers around 65,000 years ago. Among the first of our ancestors to cross out of Africa into the Arabian Peninsula, and most descendants of DE lineage belong to one of its two branches, D and E. Men carrying D move east into Asia, and those who move, it say those with E move west through Africa. So they went in both directions, obviously, and they actually show it here. You know, which they say 73,000 years ago, right? So you can see the connection up here, actually in the area that deal with what they call the Peninsula of Arabia. You know, crossing over the Red Sea will be right here in Mecca and all of that. But notice the line, that's North Africa. That same DNA went all the way over here. It went down here and it went here. This is just the paternal line. You see? So we see this is Mauritania. All this is the Moors up here. That's all a part of it. This also going into the region of the Moors. The Senegambian Moors of Senegal. Matter of fact, some of the Moors like Ibn Rahman, the Moor that's often recorded as being over here in America that was Muslim, he was considered a Moor, you see, in the European documents. But they showed me having a root in the Sudan. And this is also similar to my my maternal demonstration too. Hold up, let me put it here. I want to go to the maternal aspect, and it's actually going to show that one have indigenous roots. You know how I always say the more western, the more further to the west you go, The more further to the east you go, hold up. Well, the further to the east you go, basically you end up in the west. They say 16,000 years ago, you know, we got ancestors that was here that way before Christopher Columbus got here. It shows that in my DNA as well, that ones was already here. Just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna scroll this down. And it shows a connection to the Nigerian, which is the Fuller, and the Hausa people, which are also Moors. It's moving kind of slow there, I see. All right. You know what? I actually could have did it this way right here. See it right there? Hold up. I don't know why I can't jump when you don't want it to jump. Goodness gracious. Okay, we're going to do this first. No wrong ain't get nothing to last. Scroll it down a little bit. Okay, here we go. This is what I was trying to get to right here in that same report I just did. Okay, it should. Okay, there we go. And it showed that I don't really have no Neanderthal ancestry in there. Like 0%. Okay. Let me see here. Wrong say, oh, he's showing the DNA, y'all. Let's mess with it. Okay, here we go. It went all the way to the bottom then. Okay. There you go, right here, this portion. It said right here, let me stretch that out a little bit. Okay. It said you share ancient paternal lineage with Pharaoh Ramses III, basically. You know, so a lot of people been you got commission on your name. You don't even descend from the Egyptian. The Egyptian wasn't our people. Well, according to my DNA, this one of my great grandfathers. You know, who was also betrayed and all types of stuff. But Pharaoh Ramses defended Egypt, and he was called the greatest pharaoh to ever live. During the wars, approximately 30 a year reign he had, but provoked dissent within his administration. It says, catalyzed by mounting internal strife, one of Ramesses' lesser wives, Tai, hatched the plot to have her son, Pentawir, usurp the throne by having Ramesses murdered, along with his appointed heir. A papyrus record of the resulting trial explains that the plot failed and that all involved were tried and convicted. However, a modern CT scan of Ramesses III mummy revealed a deep slit in his throat, reopening a case long thought closed. Embalmers went to great lengths to cover up other wounds, including fashioning a fake toe out of resin where Ramesses' real one had been hacked off, likely during a fatal attack. For thousands of years, Ramesses' burial adornments concealed the wounds that mark one of the most famous royal dramas in history. Ramesses' paternal lineage begins to haplogroup EV38, from which your line also stems. You and Ramesses share an ancient paternal line, ancestor who probably lived in North Africa or Western Asia. So it even showed that I got some Australian and Philippine, the Moors, the Khmers that was over there. And so when they crossed over, so to speak, and they went into that particular area, that's who became the indigenous people, some of those who come from that area in the migratory pattern. And let's go back over here. We can't make this stuff up. We just giving you what they saying it read, because what they do, they take your DNA and then it turns the numbers into letters. And once they turn the numbers into letters, Moorish kin, it converts all of the information that they seek that's connected to everybody else. You see? So let me see here. I'm trying to pull up my matriarchal line real quick. All right. And I actually encourage our Moorish kin to check it out, and see, what's being stated here. I don't see a problem with it at all. But I think that once one's come into some insight of this special demonstration, it will give more clarity. I want to go to this maternal expression now and show our family what it states here. Both of these groups is basically putting my DNA at the one that produced, the E131 B1As and all of that. So this like the original DNA that produced a lot of that. But it says haplogroup L, and this is my maternal great grandmother. It says if every person living today could trace his or her maternal line back over thousands of generations, all of our lines would meet at a single woman who lived in Eastern Africa between 150,000 and 200,000 years ago. Though she was one of perhaps thousands of women alive at the time, only the diverse branches of her haplogroup have survived today. The story of your maternal lines begins with her, and it's showing you right here in the same area in that Sudanic region, and you're going to see where the markers go at right here, because they also give that as well. So it shows, it says your branch, it says of the L is a haplogroup L3, which rose from a woman who likely lived in Eastern Africa between 60,000 and 70,000 years ago. While many of her descendants remain in Africa, one small group ventured east across the Red Sea, likely across the Bab el-Mandeb into the Arabian Peninsula, tip of the Arabian Peninsula. And so they kept going all the way over there till they ended up coming into, the west where we are now. And there were some who went off into this area. You see, and this is called, for those who don't know, this area that is mainly covered is called Sub-Saharan Africa. So they say I'm 85% Sub-Saharan African, but yet it mentions, showing the markers of Mauritania, Sierra Leone, basically the places that was birthed through the Mali Empire, where the Mozabites come from, just what our prophet said. So can't nobody tell me, that I ain't Moorish to the core. You see what I'm saying? And they can't tell me also that I ain't Kemet to the core, because it's right here in the information. But they'll try to lie and say, okay, well, the DNA, it ain't this and that there. I would accept that because I was saying that at one time myself. But for them to be able to pull my relatives up, and they got a whole bunch of them up here, that right there kind of go a little bit out the way. Like I said, it's kind of spooky almost. But they definitely connected to my real relatives. These ain't no fake people, so it all I can say, family, is know thyself. But the main thing is it feel good to know that you come through a line of royalty in the fullest extent of knowing what it is. So now you just be yourself and teach your people to be yourself and reestablish your lineage. You know what I mean? So that being said, we're going to call on our Grand National Secretary of the State as we begin to close this demonstration out. Islam, you there, Goddess and Queen?
Woo-wee. Islam. Can you hear me, Moorish Ken?
Oh, we hear you loud and clear with divine ear.
Praise the Lord. I just want to, having already risen, giving praise and honor we're due, I just want to say this has been a grand class. Definitely every time I walk into class, I learn. And that indeed is a blessing. I want to say blessed Moorish Holy New Year to all of my Moorish kin online and to the family. I just encourage my Moorish kin to keep studying the self, because there are so many blessed degrees, just to find out how beautifully and wonderfully we are made, our history, our language, and just being able to demonstrate that goodness, peace, and happiness, and demonstrating being a friend to mankind. So gratitude, Dr. Shahid, and also for the genealogy, and being able to trace oneself back, this has indeed been a blessing. So gratitude more for calling me forth. Much peace and love to all of my Moorish kin. Islam.
In Islamism, praise be to Allah. Gratitude, Grand National Secretary of the State. And it's something else because we done did all this research that's basically was saying the same thing already. Before we even seen that, we got the same type of maps. Goodness gracious. Man, Islamism, the prophet is the prophet. They can say what they want to say. I know I descend from El-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali. Islam. All right. Well, we can open up the floor to our panel.
Islam,
Dr.
Dr. Nia debate. Honors has already been given. Powerful class, Dr. Shahid. I got one quick question, but I just need to share this right quick with our family who's listening out there. It's on my heart to share what you showed, Dr. Shahid. I love that skull when you showed, because that's the skull of Africa. And I loved it when the arrows was pointing out there to that pineal gland. And I just want to say to our family out there who's listening, we love you, family. We're not trying to hurt you we just giving you the truth. And sometimes the truth hurt, but we love you, and we just trying to give you the correct information. And Dr. Shahid, what your DNA showed, it says, I'm going to read ayat 5, coming from my Holy Quran, chapter 34. It says, now man can do no more, but Allah himself will speak and confirm your title. Go your way and teach peace on earth and goodwill to man. And that's what came to me, God, man, when you were showing your DNA. And gratitude for all that you do, and we love you. And I got one last quick question I wanted to ask about our homework. I wanted to make sure, because sometimes I don't quite understand. Sometimes when the transliteration, because I want to go back and complete my assignment. So I need to go and get something from any ayat of my choice from the Holy Quran, and then convert it with that tool you gave us, the Heretic and the Arabic, but use the Heretic and convert it. Islam?
Well, what it is, you don't have to use the Arabic. It's basically the same methodology Brother Bati Bey used. By going to take the words, and he broke them all the way down. He went and took words out of the dictionaries. And it's like you just said that ayat. So what you would do, you would go and take the words from that ayat. In fact, you can do that. Okay. That's a better way to even do it. Okay. I would copy and paste each word in the ayat and see if that word is present, in the dictionary. You know how I was doing the search through the dictionary? And just plug them words in there. And if it come up with the word, you look through those words and see which one better fitted. And so you put that to the side, and then you keep doing that. By the time you deal with the whole sentence, now you have a transliterated phonetic pronunciation in the comedic expression for each one of them words.
Okay.
You
Okay.
see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you keep doing that, it more should actually do it, just for a practice, and it would also help us tap more into those words as well. You see what I'm saying? It will help ones tap into what the words mean, and we'll be able to identify them. And as we're moving along, we can only become more proficient. I guarantee you by the end of 2023, there's going to be a cakewalk for all of those who are on the manifest. We'll basically probably by that time be going into different papyri, like the medical papyri and all that. We're going to get into all that, but we're just trying to make sure our people can identify these things first. So all the exercises of what we've been doing has been, certain things to bring about the methodology,
Okay.
so that we will be able to, because this is our methodology. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't learn this from somebody's school, looking at what you know what I mean?
Islam.
And so we can only get greater, but it takes practice.
Islam.
If we go out of these classes and we practice what it is we learn, we can't help but get better at it. You know what I mean?
Islam. Gratitude.
Islam.
Great
Gratitude.
class.
Oh yeah, great class, and the video will be present. So, and we sent the link out by mistake. Well, we don't say mistake but this divine design. It ain't no strain happening. I sent it out, so you can go in there and click on that demonstration, and go back and you'll see how Brother Bati Bey did it. He put the Unicode in there with each one of the words he broke down. Man, beautiful drawing, and he got a whole sentence. All he got to do now is go in there and vocalize each one of them ayats, memorize them, and he'll be speaking to you in that particular tongue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Beautiful. It was beautiful. Yes,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. That's the part I missed in my assignment. Gratitude.
Yeah, it's all right because you still brought a portion of the assignment to the manifest.
Oh yes,
you just brought a different portion, and our sister Grand Secretary of State brought a different. It was all to be brought.
Yeah,
but they were just different portions. Gifts of the understanding.
Islam.
And they were meant to come like that.
Islam.
Because it gave us more to discuss.
That's right.
Islam.
Gratitude.
All right. What about our brothers Bati Bey and Brother Marvin Edwards Bey? Anything y'all want to draw, family, in closing?
Islam. I just thought the Marvin Edwards Bey praise and honor have been given. Well, yeah, I just see that. I mean, actually, that demonstration you was going over about, how the brother selectively did it as research. You know what I mean? And it just bear fruit to what we've been saying all along. And a good thing that it did come up the way it did. You know what I mean? Because when I first looked at it, I didn't see, it wasn't tied to any of that demonstration that you brought on. You know what I mean? But I see that it's all connected. So it just saved me some time from spending time and trying to break it down, so to speak. But yeah, very powerful message that has been brought on the manifest today. Just another reason to be thankful and grateful for being here in our Morris American government.
Islamism. Praise be to Allah. Gratitude, grand man. Well, all right. What about you, Brother Bati Bey? Okay, our brother must be occupied. Well, praise be to Allah. We honor all of you, family.
Oh, Islam?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he had said he had to take the goddess to work.
Okay. Gratitude. I'm getting ready to go up here and do a little something myself. So we just say, praise be to Allah, Islamism without the schism. Happy Holy Manifestation Week. Happy Moorish New Year. And there are grand things to come, Moors. Stay close to your prophet. Follow your prophet. And honor everything it is that he brought us. Because he brought us everything it take to save a nation. All we got to do is take it and save ourselves. And that's exactly what we're doing. We got the pen in our hand now, Moors. What we gonna do with it? Islam. All right. We're gonna call forth our sister scribe and high priestess, Sister Dendra Nia Kurtabay.
Islam, Islam, Islam. January 15, 1929. A warning from the prophet to be read at every meeting. I hereby inform all citizens that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any citizen or group of citizens who hold malicious feelings toward the government of the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Jew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the government is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the government. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by the order of Prophet Noble Jew Ali. A holy covenant of the Asiatic nations. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breasts of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam, Islam, Islam. This meeting is officially adjourned according to Act 2. Go in peace, Moors. Islam. Great class. I had a wonderful time.
Great class. Gratitude, Moorskin. Gratitude, Dr. Shaheed.
Islam.
Great job, Fatih Bey. Dr.
Islam.
Dundra, Dr. Edwards Bey.
Islam.
Islam, Islam.
We love you all, family.
We love you.
Love.
Islam.
All right. Islam to the tribes in Moorish America.
Islam.
We are a nation under our own Moorish American government.
Islam.
They gonna know. Let them keep watching.
Yeah.
We see them looking.
That's right.
Yeah. They coming. They coming. They
All
coming
right,
in
now.
droves.
Y'all come on up in here more.
16,000 secretaries.
Yeah. Come on home, family. We welcome you with open arms. Love. Come on home.
See you in Sunday school, Morris Ken.
Islam, family. See you in Sunday school. Praise Allah.
Yeah.
Praise Allah.